Only the very fittest boys are permitted to enter for this event, and in a moment or two you will see why. It is the Sedbergh School cross-country run. 10 miles of difficult rolling moorland.
Please take part in the challenge. We're looking for more Oldsbergians and people within the Sedbergh community to take part in this unique challenge. It's a really simple process. You just need to take a photo of yourself out running, or alternatively, take a video of yourself with your memories of the Wilson Run, hashtag Sedbergh Global Run.
So please get involved in this unique challenge. We're really looking forward to seeing all the kind of tweets and messages of support coming in. Thanks so much for taking part. Best of luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 145th year of the Wilson Run race and the 141st race itself. Ben, it's a very cold day today. My mouth is hardly working, and I know your nose is running.
Have we got no umbrellas?
No umbrellas, no, it's not
First time
raining.
in 2 years.
So it's always unpredictable here in Sedbergh.
Yeah.
So now we have a very exciting day. What can we expect to see?
We can expect to see 200 pupils running over the fells in what will be a really exciting kind of race. It's our 500th anniversary this year as well, so it's extra special. But yeah, it's going to be lots of mud, lots of grit, lots of determination, and hopefully everybody gets around to the finish.
And of course, this is one of the most challenging race of any school in the UK. What makes it particularly challenging?
It's a really kind of like diverse kind of race in terms of you've got your road, you've got your fell section. It's certainly the middle section in terms of Bore Fell. It's very sort of undulating and sort of hard going. So you've got a bit of everything, which I don't think many schools have a race like this in terms of the kind of the variance in the course.
No, indeed. And so going to a place like Muddy Slide, for instance, which of course is all part of our sort of psyche, that sort of we never forget it. What's it like sort of getting down through that gill and then up the other side?
What's it like? Well, it's it's on all fours basically. You are literally sort of down into kind of a gully into the sort of the river, and then straight up a steep bank through the trees. I think we've got a little bit of a clip to sort of show you later in the race of what it's actually like for the viewers at home. But, yeah.
And in terms of then of training, because of course it is an arduous race, what are the competitors been doing to get ready for this?
Well, the training is pretty intense. It starts at the start of the term, where we have the epics, which every Wednesday the pupils will do a different kind of run, and as the kind of the half term gets sort of longer, you get the harder kind of runs. So behind us, in the top of the clouds there, we have Calf Top, which is in 2016 was classified as a mountain because it's just over
very famously, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's 13 miles up and obviously a lot of elevation. Well, sorry, not 13. It's 30 miles in total. Sorry. qualify, get a time on the board, and then they'll then look to help all their friends get round to the next few weeks.
It's all emblematic of our school values, you know, together with resilience and ambition. You've also got sort of kindness there, which is quite nice. Now, of course, none of this would happen without the kind permission of the farmers, because of course we run across their land every year.
We do, and we're immensely grateful for all their support. You know, the farmers have been massively supportive over over 100 years now, and 141 races, as you said. So yeah, really appreciative to them and all their support, and also to all the marshals that from the school and the community that help both not in just the race but also into all the qualifiers that we just mentioned, which is 4 qualifiers before the race. So yeah, a big team effort by everybody involved.
So, and of course, this race, I mean, it is part of our psyche, it's part of our heritage. And so earlier I caught up with the school archivist, Katie de la Rivière, to ask her about the race itself, the history of it, and its context within the history of the school. So here we are with Katie de la Rivière, the school archivist. And Katie, the 141st Wilson Run race. Tell me a bit about Bernard Wilson himself, the man who invented the race.
He was one of these really special characters. He was a really special Sedberghian. He came in 1876, and he was part of what was called the Old Gang, who were employed by Heppenstall at this time of massive expansion of the school, when we suddenly had boarding houses being built, we started playing sports, we had the prefect system being introduced. So that was when our school as it exists now really was formed. And he was this amazing character. He was incredibly generous, and he was housemaster of Cedric House. He raised money for the chapel to be built, and was one of these people who came with incredible drive and energy and wanted to change the school for the better. And one of the things that he did was bring long distance running to Sedbergh. It was something he was really passionate about. He'd done it before. And so he just decided that was going to be part of the Sedberghian experience. And here we are 150 years later nearly, and we're still doing it every year. It's so wonderful. So when he first arrived, he established what we would now recognise as a paper chase. Masters filled sacks with tiny slips of paper, set off from the steps of Lupton House, having cut a hole in their sack, and just wove a course over the fells that the boys would follow.
So the Wilson Run, as we know it, was that the kind of the first time he did this, or had they done a number of races and then led to the Wilson Run itself?
The first record is from 1881 in the Sedberghian magazines, but it's written in such a way that essentially the latest paper chase took place following these circumstances, which suggests that there had been previous ones. So we think that actually he was doing it from fairly soon after he arrived.
And the course we know today, is that the one he set originally?
So the first Wilson Run route, the first 10-mile paper chase route, was almost the reverse of the Wilson Run that we know now, apart from the road section went over Frost Row and it was run in reverse. The following year they changed the direction, so we ran out towards Courtley and across Boar Fell and then back across Frost Row, and it's been adapted and now we run back on the road, and we've had shufflings where we go over particular fields or not, but it's very similar to the course that was run in 1881.
And of course there is the Wilson Run song, and from that we've recently sort of taken a stanza from that for our new school motto. Why do you think that is?
Well, everybody knows it and it's so iconic. And the wonderful thing about the Long Run, our school song, which talks about the 10-mile run, is that during the chorus it speaks of strength and struggle, might and main, scorn defeat and laugh at pain, never shall you strive in vain in the long run. And all of our Sedberghians know this. They climb up on stage when they've run and they sing this with all their hearts, and they're so proud of the achievement that they've trained and they've run and been muddy and cold and miserable, but also really, really joyous that they've completed it. And it's so interesting because that line, never shall you strive in vain, it speaks to this idea, this concept of striving, that actually it's the trying hard, it's the effort, it's not necessarily the result that you're aiming for, which is what you get, what you achieve. You're actually achieving so many things tangentially by trying really hard at something, and it's that striving that makes it really worthwhile.
So it's less about glory and more about achievement.
Absolutely, yeah.
And where does the sort of Wilson Run now sit in the context of 500 years of Sedbergh?
It's interesting because obviously we didn't do, or as far as we're aware, we didn't do long distance running 500 years ago. But that period when Bernard Wilson started here at Sedbergh, that was the renaissance, that was the rebirth of the school, when we suddenly expanded from being 2 buildings, the library where we are now and Evans House, into this enormous school structure that we have now and that we still celebrate so much of. And so I suppose, putting it in the context of our history, the Wilson Run has grown over that period of time since our rebirth in 1874 with Heppenstall, and every year it's grown and grown, and now we expect to have over 1,000 people come to watch, to celebrate, to cheer, to take part, and it's just the most incredible event.
And one of the things that people say is that Sedbergh is defined by its landscape, and would you say the Wilson Run somehow encapsulates that?
Absolutely, because it's such a joy. People run over the hills and they watch people celebrating, enjoying being in this landscape. And we sing about the landscape, we sing about the hills, we sing about the fells, we sing about the particular gullies in the song. And so, yes, absolutely, our landscape, the Wilson Run and the song are so much a part of our culture.
Katie de la Riviere, School Archivist, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you to the School Archivist there, Katie de la Riviere, for her insights into the history of the Wilson Run. Now, Ben, last night we held the Wilson Run dinner, and a fantastic event.
It was. What a brilliant evening it was. We had a record number of people attend, so we had a mixture of parents, Ulsterbergians and friends of the school, and yeah, it was sort of 210 people, fantastic atmosphere.
And of course a record number of place winners came back for the evening.
That's true. Yeah, we had a photo with all those place winners.
Which because you're a Wilson Run winner.
A long time ago, Jan.
Yes,
but
yes. Of course I was a 51st, but...
So close. Close,
yeah, close. They didn't let me in the photo last night, I don't know why not. A life choice, I suppose. Anyway, but we have some wonderful clips from last night.
We do, yeah. We've got some highlights that we will share with you now.
So great to hear from some of our friends who've come from near and far to be with us last night. Now, Ben, of course, it's our 500th year. Happy birthday, Sedbergh. And we're doing a number of things to celebrate. Can you talk about some of the things that we're doing?
Yeah, it's a really exciting calendar over the next 9 months. The next sort of big event we've got our May Gala dinner on the 3rd of May, which is going to be behind us again in the Hearst Centre, and that will be packed out. So we have a big dinner for parents on the Friday evening, and then on the 2nd of May, and on the 3rd of May, the Saturday, we've got a big dinner for our OS community.
I think we're expecting about over 1,000 people to come back for the 2 days, aren't we?
Absolutely, well, over 1,000. It's 480 for each dinner, but we'll be having other people that will be joining us, I'm sure.
Yes, so probably the
few
biggest
days.
sort of celebration and collection of people from our community that we've ever had.
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
So there are still tickets if you want to come along to that.
Yeah. And then we've also got the Rally Roger, which is an exciting event that's taking place in Scotland, where we're raising money for a Roger Lupton scholarship scheme. And then we've also got the Summer Solstice, which is taking place on Saturday the 21st of June, which is going to be a fantastic dinner down on Buscombe in a marquee. And those people that will be joining the dinner will have the opportunity to take part in the torchlit procession in front of me rather, up Winder and back down again, and we'll be able to be part of history by going on the scroll by the lodge.
And of course, the scroll is a reenactment of what happened in 1925, and we're going to come back here to the cloisters and sing "O Valiant Hearts," I think.
Yes.
Sort of round about midnight. It's going to be a very exciting day. But of course, that day itself is a culmination of 3 days of the headmaster and yourself and some others running back from York Minster all the way up the Dales Way, 70 miles, I think it is.
90 miles,
90
over 3
miles.
Dales.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
okay, sorry.
I know, because
You've got to run it. I've got to run the car, I'll be fine. But yeah, a great historical occasion. So again, great to be part of it if you can be.
Yes.
So.
And then the other kind of big highlight would be York Minster at the end of the year. So on Monday the 8th of December, we are in York. We've got a special dinner at the Mitchell Adventurers Hall before the kind of carol service at 7:30, and then back to the Mitchell Adventurers Hall for mince pies and mulled wine after the service.
Cannot beat mince pies and mulled wine.
Yeah. But just to say, and we were earlier sort of in the year, on the 3rd of February, we were at Bridgewater Hall, weren't we, for an amazing kind of concert, the first of the 500th celebrations, where we had a dinner for sort of the OS community, followed by the concert. And we'd just like to sort of show you a little clip of the concert for you to see what that was like.
And of course, Ben, there are lots of amazing stories about the Wilson Run because it's such an arduous race. And I believe one of those was a Wilson Run record holder who got lost in the fog.
Yeah, that's right. Charles Sykes, known as Chuck. Yeah, he famously got lost in 1994. So he broke the record in 1993. Was on track to beat his own record in 1994. Got as far as sort of Courtly on record pace, and then the weather came in, and yeah, he got lost on Borfell, and yeah, came out I think in sort of outside the sort of top 20, I think, and then you know.
Yeah. So of course we caught up with him last night, so he sort of tells the story in his own words.
Okay, so I'm delighted to be with Chuck Sykes.
Good to
hi,
see you.
Good to see you. It looks like you've just been for a run.
Yeah, sorry, you're nice and smart, and I'm a scruff. I had a couple hours spare. Didn't work today, so went up the fells, got up Winder and High Winder.
Amazing.
I crawled up Winder, but it was still good fun.
Whatever. I believe that.
Yeah.
Call that win.
I don't want to know how quickly I did it as a kid because I think it'd be a bit embarrassing what I do now. But
Impressive now.
it was good fun.
Oh, amazing. And it's so glorious out there, isn't it? So it's the Monday, obviously, before the Wilson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the sun is shining.
Yeah.
We're in the studio, ready for tomorrow for the live stream.
Yeah.
You're quite impressed, aren't you, with all the kit we've got here?
It's really fancy here. Yeah. It's looking forward to seeing it all come together tomorrow. And there's a cool breeze out there, but other than that, it's a beautiful day, and it's dry, really dry underfoot.
That's dry, isn't it?
So-
So talking about kind of weather and kind of courses, so you broke the record in 1993. You were an inspiration to me when I was obviously at school, and looking up to you when I was here, and wanting to sort of, I think we both got like the middle of the Northern Independent Schools. I remember when I won that, and it was Chuck Sykes, so you're the only other Sedberghian, and I was determined to sort of, try and get close to your time, but I never did. So that just shows the magnitude of what you achieved.
Each year is different, but yeah.
Yeah, but so in 1994,
Yes.
so you kind of broke the record in 1993.
Yeah.
And then you were on track, weren't you, in great shape for 1994.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a blessing in disguise. I've said a few times since then. So 93 obviously couldn't have gone better. 94, I think I'd been a bit injured earlier in the autumn, but I got over that and was still running pretty well.
Yeah.
But then all went a bit skew whiff on the day itself. So I mean, I got to Courtley. That's a few miles in and was running well.
You were on track when you feel.
Yeah, I was. I can easily say I was just ahead at the time at Courtley, but I wasn't feeling fresh. It was quite a mild day, and I remember thinking coming out of Courtley, I was thinking, I'm getting a bit hot. I was overheating a bit, and so maybe it was a blessing in disguise that across Bore Fell all went a bit wrong.
And that was the fog. It was a sort of mist.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, when the fog just was pretty heavy to say the least, and I'd missed my line. So the year before, clear sky, and you could just.
And was that sort of like, kind of just as you came onto Bore Fell, you just got the wrong line?
Yeah, because on a clear day, Hugh Simmons used to taught me. You look across to the wood. I can't remember the name of it, but in the distance, and plantation, you just go slightly to the left, and you've got a clear line, and you run straight across. We didn't have as many flags out then, so it was, and that got the perfect line. But with no flags and with no visibility, you just go a few meters
and you just
at
keep
the start
on
the wrong way, and I went a few meters probably off to up the fell, and it all looked the same.
And how long was it sort of into that section that you realised I've gone wrong here?
It was within, I guess, maybe 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
I thought, I'm in trouble. And then I was just, I came to a standstill and wandered about a bit, thinking.
Got your compass out.
No compass. I think I shouldn't put this on the live. I think I stopped for a wee.
Really?
I was so thinking, like, resigned to the fact.
It was all
and and I was up there for a while. I mean, it wasn't. Probably in total, where it wasn't that long, but it seemed a long time. And then when I came back,
so you dropped. Did you get to like Muddy Slide checkpoint then?
I got to Muddy Slide. I saw the first person I saw. Oh my gosh, I've gone completely blank on the guy's name who big rugby second row, James Sanderson.
Okay, yeah.
James, he'll hopefully he's not watching this. It'll be embarrassing. So I saw him when we were running around the 10 last year.
Yeah.
A lovely chap, really nice guy, and actually was a really nice person to see because James Sanderson's second row. Quite a big chap, not a very good rugby player, but not your natural sort of.
Not as light and swift as you.
Maybe not, but but it was nice when all was going completely wrong. It was nice to see him because he was a smiley faced chap who was sort of encouraging rather than someone saying, "Oh, you're having a good day, Charles." saw him. That was just before Muddy Slide.
Okay, and then when you got to Muddy Slide, then it was sort of game on. Then was it?
I mean, as soon as I got him, there were people to spot. I just spotted a line and just tried to.
So what position do you reckon you were in at Muddy Slide?
Actually, I have absolutely no idea. But I mean, he was quite a way back, and then I sort of tried to work my way through, but it was trying a bit too. It was too big an ask to get to the end. But it was
because I think from Danny to the finish, you were sort of rapid, weren't you? That
it was, I had a quick because I mean I had a bit of a rest, on Ball Fell and managed to
conserve some energy, some battery power.
Exactly. Renew my batteries and then just sort of ran as hard as I could and. But still had too much to make up. But I mean, I wasn't the only one that year who.
Yeah, there were a few that kind of missed the checkpoint.
A few people actually missed Muddy Slide checkpoint, and I think were officially disqualified because
Well, I think they came in, didn't they? And then they hadn't hit that checkpoint.
Yeah,
so disqualified.
exactly. Yeah,
sort of once they got
so
the line.
It was an unusual year, but
And what was that feeling like when you came across the line? Then was it sort of kind of despair, or were you just like, it's just sport, it's one of those things?
That's life, the ups and downs of life. I mean, the previous year was so hyped up with the record going and all that.
Yeah.
And that was, I was hugely grateful for that, and that was sort of strangely, virtually life changing. And I know it seems strange.
But we had lots of I think looking back over the sort of minutes in events that happened afterwards, that you had like a dinner, didn't you? And things.
Oh, I mean, there was a
proper celebrity.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously you are.
But I mean, it seems so funny.
As a pupil,
it seems so funny that it's such a niche. It's a single event. But at the time, oh my word, it was. I'd walk up School Hill and all the little Crestbrook lads, the junior school,
7 and 8,
would be like wanting to walk up the hill with me, and
so you'd be like walking along with like 20 people by you.
There's scrawny me, sort of just a runner, and nickname was like Hero and stuff like that.
Really?
I mean the hype was huge, but Roy did sort of give me quite a lot of confidence, It was, I mean, it was sort of just a great sort of momentous sort of occasion where I look back on it and think, wow, that was, and it made quite a difference to my sort of
school life.
Yeah, it's been a bit troubling since, But everyone gets their 5 minutes of fame, and I think mine was at the age of 17. At the age of 17 or whatever.
That's right, lower sixth form. You hit the heights.
So all going wrong in the upper sixth. Getting lost. These things happen, ups and downs. But
brilliant. Yeah. Well, Charles, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Well,
thank you for coming to join us in the studio.
Looking forward to seeing how it goes tomorrow. It's going to be a clear day, I would hope. So
yeah. Well, we'll look forward to sort of seeing you out on the course, and hope you enjoy the race.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Okay. Cheers.
So it's great there to hear from Chuck Sykes, and how he had his adventures on the Fells. Now, of course. We try and live stream from the Fells, and it's actually technologically it's very difficult. But also,
is it? We're not having TV problems, have we?
Just every year, we do our best. But of course, that costs money.
Yes.
And so we couldn't really do this without the help of our sponsor, Bob Peters, an old Luptonian, a wonderful chap.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bob's been really supportive, not only just for this event, but for other events in terms of reunion dinners and our New York trip last year as well. So yeah, it's
because he's from Travel Counsellors, isn't he?
That's correct.
So, highly recommend him if you ever want to have an amazing trip somewhere. Certainly get in touch with him. And I know the school use him all the time now, don't they?
They do. Yep. Absolutely.
So in fact, here are a few words from Bob himself.
So, Bob, you are a tremendous chap because you sponsor a lot of our events. And so, just remind us, who do you work for?
So, I run my own company under the franchise of Travel Counsellors.
It's a brilliant organisation because not only have you helped me and Ben personally with our travels, but of course now the schools, they've actually signed up all those.
That's right, I'm looking after the whole of Sedbergh School and the prep school's travel arrangements, which is a win-win all round because it's something I'm passionate about, and it's great to be looking after the school and so many people I know and have history with, and
And of course, there's a reason why you give back, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I was one of the lucky ones. All those years ago, my brother and I, we essentially got a bursary to come to Sedbergh. We were local boys. We lived in a local community. We were brought up here, and And you know, we started off as day boys, and we ended up boarding the last 2 years, and it's given us both the most amazing starts in life. And
I think it changed your life, isn't it?
it absolutely has changed my life. I certainly wouldn't be in the position I am now. I certainly wouldn't be in the position I am now to be able to give back if I hadn't been to Sedbergh. So it's, for me, it's the right thing to do.
Well, yeah, Bob Peters from Travel Counsellors, thank you ever so much, because you do an awful lot for us, and you're a great personal friend, great friend of the school, great friend of the foundation and the OSPAD. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye now.
And thank you to Bob Peters from Travel Counsellors for all his support and generosity.
Now, an important part of the work Ben and I do is we work for the Development Office, and that helps to raise funds in particular for Roger Lupton scholarships, and these scholarships provide fully funded places for children from disadvantaged backgrounds. It's a very important part of the school, and in sort of recognition of this, this year we've launched a 500 for 500 appeal, and what we're asking people to do is to pay £8.33 a month for 5 years, which equates to £500. And if we can get 1,000 people to subscribe to this appeal, then this will provide a fully funded place for one boy and one girl to come to the school for 5 years, and it'll be an amazing life opportunity for them. Thank you to those who've already subscribed. I ask if you can to help us, and you'll find a link below to that appeal.
And talking about Roger Lupton scholars, we were lucky enough to catch up with Amelia Horan last night, who was performing at the Wilson One dinner, and she talks to us about what it means to be a scholar and how that's changed her life coming to Sedbergh School.
So I'm here with Amelia Horan, a former Roger Lupton scholar. Amelia, it's great to see you today. And when were you at the school here?
I started in Year 9 in 2016 and finished in 2021.
And you were in Caris House?
Yes.
And how did you find it?
It was amazing. The boarding school life was just something I'll always remember. I met lifelong friends there, and Mrs. Gunning was amazing, and also Kathy, really supportive as well.
And what have you gone on to do since leaving Sedbergh?
So I'm currently at Durham University studying music and in my final year.
And you're doing a dissertation?
I am, yes. I'm doing it on the importance of active and passive music engagement on academic achievement.
Sounds fun. I won't tend to understand that, but that's good. And as I said at the beginning, you are a former Roger Lupton scholar.
Yes.
How do you think that changed your life?
So I'm the first woman in my family to go to university, and without that scholarship I definitely wouldn't have got to where I am now at university. It's definitely an amazing experience that I've been given. The opportunities at school here have led me to where I am now. In terms of academic achievement, the support of teachers have enabled me to reach my grades that I needed to get into university. It's amazing.
And of course, Roger Lupton scholarships are places provided by donations from the Sedbergh community. And if you were to meet those people who gave to help you come here, what would you say to them?
I would like to thank them very much for giving me this opportunity. It's given me a platform to reach a higher potential and achieve goals that I once thought were unattainable, and I would like to thank them very much.
And so what we're doing now, of course, is we're launching an appeal called the 500 for 500 appeal, and that is to help a young boy and a young girl to come here for 5 years on Roger Lupton scholarships. How do you think it's going to change their lives?
Give them an amazing start in life. The values taught at Sedbergh will also they'll carry throughout their life as well, and also at Sedbergh it's nice to know that the support won't end once you leave. It will continue to be there, and that's something that I will also cherish, and the children will hopefully cherish too.
Amelia Horan, it's been a delight to interview you. Thank you very much, and thank you for singing for us last night.
Thank you.
Thank you. So great there to catch up with Amelia Horan, a very talented individual and former Roger Lupton scholar. Now, Ben, I understand that earlier you caught up with some of the competitors who are taking part today.
I did indeed, Dan, yes. At the end of last week, I caught up with a number of pupils that will be tackling the course today, and here's their thoughts ahead of the race at 2:30. Okay, I'm here with Henry from Windsor House, who it's going to be your first Wilson Run this year, isn't it?
It will be, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
And you've come a long way to take part in this race.
Right? Yeah, all the way from Australia, so...
Incredible. And you've got a long sort of family dynasty that have come to Sedbergh.
Yeah, I have. I've got a bit of a tradition going on.
Yeah.
Parents came here, uncles have come here, cousins have come here.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Good stuff. And how have preparations gone for Tuesday?
Preparations have been going well.
Yeah.
I've been in the gym recently, getting some fitness in.
Good stuff. And you've done the epics, I take
I've done all the epics and I've done all the qualifiers.
Amazing.
So yeah.
And what's the atmosphere like in the house at the moment?
Yeah, buzzing. It's good.
Yeah.
Boys have been welcoming.
Brilliant.
We've all been pushing ourselves when running. Just
do you think you've got a good chance of winning the sort of the main competition for the house competition?
As in overall?
Yeah, overall.
I don't know. Yeah. Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we will. Brilliant. Okay, well, nice to speak to you.
Great, thank you.
So, Money, so you came so close last year, didn't you, in terms of coming second. So, in terms of, you said obviously you haven't had to sort of, as much chance to sort of train as maybe you did last year. But in terms of the actual course itself, what's your favourite bit of the course?
I'd say when you cross the first gill and then you get onto Courtley, when it goes onto that single file track, I think that's my favourite bit, because at the beginning everyone's really jumbled up together, and you're kind of not really running your own race because you're trying to get away from everyone. But then when you get to Courtley, that's when you settle into your own pace, and like that's when it starts to become your own race.
Really, that's my favourite bit as well. There's a little bits of hills, but it's quite relaxing as well.
Yeah, it's like undulating. It's good.
Get to a groove. No, amazing. And then in terms of kind of your least favourite bit of the course?
I'd say Borfell, which I think is quite a popular choice for that one, but only because it's really hard to get into a rhythm, because it's like the texture's just so uneven and you can't like run hard and flat, like you have to dodge obstacles and things. So,
cool. And then do you have any like kind of lucky trainers or particular trainers you wear?
Well, I have the ones I wore last year, and I'm currently undecided whether I should wear them again or the ones I've run all of this year in, because they're slightly different. Like one of them's better for more muddy weather, and then one of them's better for more dry weather.
Of course, it's dry, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were out on Wednesday, last Wednesday? Or
no, I had a nap for mine.
Okay, well I was out when it's like dry, especially that Courtley section. It's just dusty.
It is.
Dusty, man. Well,
I'll
leave it a secret. I'll leave it a secret. It could be a surprise to the competitors. So, Grace, do you have a particular sort of favourite bit of the course?
I really obviously enjoy the end. You know, coming in, my dad's at the end, so it's really special. Yeah, I didn't realise how special it would be last year coming in at the end, but it was a really special moment, I think.
That's really interesting, Grace. So, obviously for me, I finished on the road. Obviously for you, you're finishing now on the Lupton Field.
Of course,
So so it is a good atmosphere when you sort of come back. You've still got a corner, haven't you, as you come around and then head towards the sort of
100%. Coming around, you know, when you get onto the field after you've come up the long last drag, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm here. And then you come around that corner and I can see my dad at the end, and it's like, oh my god, they're here. And then you've got everyone on the sides, and it's just crazy. You don't even hear it, it's almost that loud.
Okay.
And then you come in and it's just like, wow, it's it. It's kind of surreal when you come across the line. It's like, it's the end. Like, it's so loud. You can hear you like murmurs of your name, and it's really a special feeling. Like, so much support.
And the house is going crazy.
Yeah, completely. You can hear like murmurs of your houses. It's really nice. It feels so like support, like everyone really wanted that for you, sort of feeling. It's really nice.
Okay, George, you came second last year. So quite a close race.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah, hopefully take the win this year.
Is that what you're hoping for? Yeah. So you feeling confident?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I've done a lot more training, so yeah, I'm a lot more prepared.
So you've done all the epics?
I had to like be careful on the epics because I had like a race on most Saturdays.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to be a bit careful. Yeah.
And then in terms of the house, so it's a school house, isn't it? Yeah. Is it kind of lots of atmosphere there? Lots of people kind of getting in the mood. I think you're one of the favourites, aren't you? School house. Got a good team.
We've got like, it's good in house as well. So we've got a lot of other people that are good. Like we've got Louis, Jamie, Venti should be like quite far up there. So hopefully we'll get them two in the top 6 as well. So that'll be good, yeah.
Okay, I'm now with Archie, who's the head of school. You're not actually going to be running this year, are you, Archie?
No, unfortunately not. I got some good news about an England call-up, so unfortunately no run. But no, I'm a bit gutted about it because obviously it's such a rite of passage and sort of. I did it last year and I was sort of hoping on improving times, but.
And how did you do last year, actually?
Well, I was very chuffed. I thought I overachieved in the race. I finished 30th boy, which I was chuffed with, but I think I got the fueling slightly wrong, so I was in a bit of a hole in the last couple of miles.
That was kind of coming from Danny Bridge to the finish.
Yeah,
I coasting on one end.
Yeah, big stitch coming down the hill towards Danny Bridge, and then never really recovered from that one.
Okay, Archie, you mentioned you're playing for England, and that's England rugby.
Yeah. So we've got Ireland next weekend in Cork, so that's very exciting for me. That'll be the first time I've played. Well, I'm in the 26 travelling, so hopefully I'm in the 24 that play, but I'll still get to watch and cheer everyone on.
Yeah, and that's incredible. And then you sort of, in terms of last year, you came 30th. You obviously Evans House.
Yeah.
Evans House did really well, didn't they?
Yeah, that was our, I think, third year on the trot winning it, and then unfortunately this year it's not looking so promising.
You took the question away from me there.
Oh,
that's a nice question. Yeah, so obviously atmosphere.
I mean, I don't want to speak too early, but we've got a very small sixth form this year. Okay. So we got 8 in the upper and 9 in the upper, sorry, and 8 in the lower. And so I think we're just about going to have 10 running.
Right.
And that's scraping the barrel.
Okay. So you've got the quantity needed, but maybe not so much the strength and depth.
Yeah. But no. There'll be some. We've got a couple of proper runners that'll be doing well, but then I think at the back end, some of my mates maybe not pulling their weight as much.
So what house do you think is up there in terms of got a good chance?
Well, School have got Dodge at the front, and then they've got quite a bit of depth in runners there, so I think they'll look handy. But not actually. I suppose Hart look quite promising. They got some good lower six runners, but I'm usually not running with them. I'm slightly in the midfield, so we'll see.
Amazing. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I hope you enjoy watching the race.
No, I will do.
On the side, and good luck with your England match and training.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, much. So I'm with Scarlett now, who came 3rd last year. So this is your 2nd year of running the race.
Yeah, 2nd year.
How are you feeling about Tuesday?
Nervous. We'll see. Definitely better weather this year, hopefully, so that should help everybody.
And how's the training been going?
It's been going better than last year. I think the epics have definitely helped, and so many got cancelled last year because of the weather, whereas this year a lot of them have been on, and the normal route, so it's been good. Yeah.
That's good. And the trials, you've been pleased with your sort of times in the trials over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Most of them are going okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Excellent. In terms of the course, then, Scarlett, what's your sort of favourite bit of the course?
Favourite bit is, well, it's definitely not Ball Fell. So probably coming down to Courtley. I like that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The windy bit.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I guess your least favourite part is Ball Fell then, as you've. So what is it you don't like about Ball Fell?
I think it actually it's fine, but like last year I found that really mentally hard, and like you can get so lost, and like there can be nobody around you, and there's nothing to like pick you up. There's not as many marshals as there are in other places, so I think mentally it's the hardest bit of the run.
That's really interesting you say that. I think that's really true. If you lose contact with people,
yeah,
Ball Fell, that's it, isn't it? It's really hard to kind of claw people back in, or cool. So in terms of kind of the house, Lupton House, is there a good atmosphere at the moment? Is it kind of
everyone's very excited. Everyone's nervous though, but as a house you should do a lot better than last year as well, so everyone's like quite excited.
And have you got everybody qualified that wanted to qualify, or? Yeah,
everyone's got round, which is good. I think we had 20 people on the first week alone, so
that's great.
Lupton's done very well.
So how many people roughly from Lupton do you reckon will be running?
Like 25, 30. Amazing. Yeah, it was good.
We were talking to Archie from Evans, and he was saying I think it's just 10 from Evans.
Yeah,
so
not quite as many.
Definitely the sort of strength in numbers there. So in terms of kind of like traditions, are you on the day? Would you be having sort of a special breakfast or any sort of things you do sort of?
I think I'll just try and keep it as normal as possible. Like take the same routine as I do for all the other epics. Obviously, I'll be a lot more nervous, but I've got to stick to like what I know, I suppose. Yeah.
That's very wise. Cool. Anyway, well, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, Scarlett.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you.
So great to hear from the competitors there, and Ben, they certainly seem up for a good race.
Yeah, which is good, really, because it's about to start. I hope so.
Now, talking of racing, we need to get down to the start line, otherwise we're going to miss it.
Yeah.
And while we're getting down there, we're going to hear from the race director, Richard Wells, and it is a tremendous amount of hard work to put this race together, and Richard does a fantastic job every year, so it'd be good to hear from him. Of course, now, I'm a bit aware that there's a bit of a microclimate around these parts, so it could well be raining by the time we get to the start line, but
good chance.
But we've got our umbrellas, I think. Here we go. We'll crash that more so enjoy the race. I think we better go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, it's that time of year again where I'm with the race director Richard Wells, who's going to talk us through the runners for this year. So Rich, how many people have we got qualified for the Wilson Run?
So we've got over 200 again this year, which is really exciting. So I'm hoping that we're actually going to break the existing record of 196 runners that actually finished.
Okay. So the current, in terms of the kind of qualifiers and people taking part in the race, is that sort of 202? Is it the most amount we've had?
In the past is 202. We're slightly over that this year. So yeah, I'm hopeful that we'll actually get 200 finishers for the first time in the history of the race. So
brilliant, wouldn't it, for the 500?
That'd be great.
To have the record, that would be amazing. So in terms of the race, in terms of the kind of course, what's that looking like?
It's really good this year. It's been dry for the last sort of few weeks. We've had some rain over the weekend, so it's softened up a bit, but the forecast is for dry weather for the next few days. And there's only a 10% chance of rain on race day, so hopefully we've got nice conditions, gentle breeze, 11 degrees, so it should be nice out there for the runners.
Yeah, well, I know that when I've been running around in the kind of qualifiers, you can really see it sort of drying up week by week. So yeah, it should be good for the
good conditions.
Yeah, excellent. So in terms of like the kind of organisation, Richard, you know, so you're the race director. There's a lot, as we sort of mentioned earlier in the show, that goes into organising a big race like this. So can you sort of tell the viewers at home kind of, you know, how many people you've got around the course, your team?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a massive logistical organisation. We've got obviously the farmers. That's where it starts, allowing us to use their course. We're always grateful for them. Then we've got the backroom people who are organising the tracking system, the registration of the runners, making sure the marshals are in the right position. We've got Race HQ, somebody monitoring the location of everybody the whole time. There are the marshals that are out on the course. There are the people that are manning the water stations. There's the nursing and medical staff that are looking after everybody. So all in all, there's over 110 people that have fixed jobs on the day to make sure that it goes off nice and smoothly and everybody has a great time.
Richard, thank you very much for your wonderful insight as always, and fingers crossed tomorrow for the record numbers, and I hope everything obviously goes well for you.
Thank you.
And for the viewers back home, we've just got a flyby of the course for you to enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 141st race, the Wilson Run, and the 145th year. We're now live in our studios. Ben Collins and Jan van der Velde were your hosts for today. And Ben, the weather is actually perfect, isn't it?
It's brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
The rain dance has come off a treat.
Yes, I think probably the best weather we've seen for some years.
Yeah, brilliant. It's got a bit of cloud, but blue sky there. So yeah, it's looking great. We can see here we've got the warm-up happening in Lupton Yard.
So does it bring back memories?
It does. I didn't have a Sebra wolf there. Is that a wolf? A Sebra wolf?
Yeah, something like that. Yes, I'm not sure, but quite interesting. Yeah. So, and I ask you this every year, but what's going through their minds at the moment? How are they feeling?
It's just I think as I said before, I think it's just that excitement now. You sort of got those nerves probably are sort of going away and just getting ready to sort of start the race. But yeah, everybody looked happy in that shot, didn't they? So I think everybody's in the zone.
They
ready to
did.
go.
And just to briefly talk about last night, what a fantastic evening. We had a record number of Wilson Run winners there at the dinner, a record number of medal winners as well.
Did, yeah, as we said sort of early in the pre-show, it's been it was a brilliant evening, and everybody got on stage, didn't they, the place winners, and we had a sing-song of the long run, and it was a special evening. Yeah, we got some more footage here.
And so this year, it is our 500th year, and really we've pulled out all the stops. And we have more cameras across the fells. We're hoping for good reception. It's always a challenge, ladies and gentlemen, to try and get reception for the fells, but we have a wonderful team here who are helping us.
Well, the great thing is this time, Jan, we can actually see that we've definitely got 2 cameras that are working, because we can see them in operation at the moment.
That's a good start.
We've got a dashboard in front of us where we can see sort of cameras as they come sort of live to us once they're set up. So yeah, that's positive.
Now, who's starting the race for us today?
We've got a special lineup for the start of the race. So we've got the three male Wilson Run record holders. So we've got Charles Sykes, Johnny Campbell. So Charles Sykes, as we heard from earlier, broke the record in 1993. Johnny Campbell, who broke the record in 2016, and Fraser Sproul, who broke the record in 2022.
I mean, Fraser Sproul, I still remember that record, 1:07:07, I think it was, or something.
Yeah, sort of 54 seconds or so, I think, off the
I think he came in about 10 minutes ahead of the next person.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So we've got about 7 minutes to go until the start. I think?
Just over 7 minutes to go. So not too long, but everybody's doing their routine, getting warmed up with the Sebra Wolf. Have you been out this morning, Anne?
Well, I was actually out on the start line because there are a lot of people here today. I think we've had a record number of people who've come back for the Wilson Run and have attempted it in one way or another. Some have run round, some have walked round. But it was great to see so many old friends who've come back to be here. And of course, it is such a special occasion, isn't it?
No, absolutely. And I tell you, somebody who flew round is somebody we just mentioned, actually, Johnny Campbell. So he flew round this morning in 1 hour 13, which is really impressive. So I think obviously that's a sort of...
Only a few minutes off his record.
Yeah, sort of 5 minutes or so off his record. But considering, he's not in sort of, race shape, that was an incredible achievement to get around in 1 hour 13.
And I'm glad to say that he didn't beat his time, because I have promised anybody who beats their time when they're at school that I would buy them dinner. And I thought it was going to be quite an expensive evening, or something. But no, he didn't quite beat it. But no, well done him. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we've got, you can see, there's people we can see out of the cameras that we've got that the viewers can't see yet, but people are making their way to 10 Mile Lane at the moment, and lots of people walking out of Sedbergh to get a good viewing of the
and of course, the race starts outside Lupton House, my old house.
Yeah.
And I remember being here for, I think it was the 100th, when Seb Coe came here, now Lord Coe, of course, when he was a reporter for, I think, Yorkshire News, I think it was, or something, or...
We've got a clip of that, haven't we, actually?
I'm not sure we can play it now, but we'll just quickly see if there is time.
If we get time, we'll drop it in, but we've only got 5 minutes in a bit before the race. But we've got some great footage from 1981. So, yeah.
And that was quite a time, of course. And when you look at the footage,
it was quite a time because you were there.
I was there. Yes, it was very.
It wasn't quite a time when I was at school.
Recently, I wrote to Lord Coe and I said, I don't even remember me because I think I was head of school at the time, and I just dropped that in. So I got to talk to him.
You never told me that at all. Yeah,
no, only every other day. And so I was hoping that he would actually come back and join us for one of these races and things, but. Sadly, he didn't reply. But this is a appeal. Lord Coe, if you're watching, you're always welcome back.
I'm sure Lord Coe's watching this afternoon.
I did say to him, I wrote to him, I said, we also helped you with your career when you were younger, so please return the paper. Yeah. But no, it was marvellous to have him, actually. That was a very special occasion. So that was the occasion, of course, and not that I tell everyone every year, when my father came with his new Cinefilm camera, and then filmed the wrong person finishing. And I found out 3 weeks later when we got the film developed. Never forgave him, but never mind.
Oh, dear,
So,
dear. Well, okay, yep.
That's amazing. You know, that really takes me back. Of course, that was my era.
You were getting some tears in your eyes.
I was getting some tears in my eyes. So, wonderful. And here they are lining up outside Lupton House. And I've got to say, Ben, did you know that Lupton House was the first house to get electricity in 1909?
I didn't know that.
No, it's a very interesting fact. You know,
mind of information, Jan.
And it's the first house to get a TV in 1908. But then they read the instructions and realised that they were missing something. But little known fact. There you go.
Every day's a school day.
So now, when they line up, is it the fastest at the first, at the front?
The fastest tend to sort of kind of wiggle their way to the front. I think. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not actually sort of.
No,
set
I
like
think
that, no?
yeah, no, I think well, I'm just talking about from my time, but yeah, we just sort of people would be quite generous and let the faster people go towards the front, but there was no sort of set order.
And when they set off, because I'm not an experienced runner, as you probably guess, and I tended to sort of sprint sort of about down the first mile, and then I was exhausted for the rest of the race.
Your moment of glory.
Yeah, I was winning. I was winning for the first 10 yards. But did you sort of have a more measured approach?
Yeah, I sort of had sort of time splits where I was looking to get to certain places in a certain time.
And of course, not everybody will know, but you are a Wilson Run winner.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, but this is important.
Yeah.
So this is why you're our resident expert, amongst other things.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite go as far as that, but yeah.
And just to say to everybody, please send your comments in. We'd love to hear from you. We have people watching from all over the world. I know that some people are staying up late and some people are getting up early to watch us here today. So it's great that we're expecting sort of 5,000 or so to dial in today, aren't we?
Yeah, we've already had sort of over 1,000 people sort of dial in the first 55 minutes or so. So that's brilliant to see everybody tune in.
So we're about ready for the start.
Yep. So as we mentioned, we've got the 3 record holders, Charles Sykes, Johnny Campbell, and Fraser Sproul, that will be starting the race for us, which is extra special for the 500th anniversary year.
And this is when the race director, Richard Wells, this is the culmination, of course, of all his hard work, which is really a whole term's work, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah. As we heard from him earlier, it really is a momentous.
And there's the headmaster, Mr. Dan Harrison.
And there's Johnny Campbell, and we've got Fraser Sproul there, holding the kind of beeper, the starting sort of siren, and then Charles Sykes in the shirt next to Fraser.
They've all been around this morning. So
it's great to see as well that
they're off.
Yep, that's brilliant. We're away. I just noticed there the headmaster was wearing his old Serbian tie as well, which is great. There we go. everybody's away. We can see the crowd there. Lots of people at the start. That's huge, isn't it, compared to previous years? There's a lot of people.
And it is a great feeling when you run down back lane, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know, all that training, because these...
there we go. We got camera 2, sorry.
These competitors, they've been training all term, running the epics, running the qualifiers, and of course, what I do love about this is that the stronger runners then help the weaker runners to qualify, don't they?
That's right. Yeah.
So this year, I understand we have a record number of runners, 212.
212 that qualified. Yeah. So I think it might be just a few. It's probably around sort of just over 200, I think, to actually sort of taken part, just due to sort of injuries that have popped up since people have qualified. And there's been a few people like Archie who qualified and then is going down to Roslyn Park and later in the week. So yeah, but I think it's still probably hopefully a record number of people taking part as well as qualifying.
Yes, that's good. And so I know that Richard Wells was hoping that we would actually get 200 to finish for the first time.
Yes.
Which would be an amazing achievement.
And
you know what? That just shows the vibrancy of the school at the moment. The fact is, you know, we're such a strong school, and the fact that we're getting more qualifying than ever before shows in some ways that we're still growing, which is just great to hear.
Absolutely, and also just the magic of the 10-mile race, isn't it? Just how special it is, and everybody's buying into that kind of heritage, and sort of.
And it was lovely. Last night we had Gerald Tyler come back, the oldest double Wilson Run winner, came back all the way from Dallas in Texas.
Yeah, who I stayed with back in May last year. Gerald and his wife Rima, who are a lovely couple and looked after me really well. I was privileged to stay with them for 2 nights and sort of 3 days, and we went to the Fort Worth Stockyard, which is just outside of Dallas, which was an incredible experience. I got to kind of see the kind of cattle being sort of taken through Fort Worth, which was an amazing experience. I felt like a cowboy for the day.
Yes, I'd like to say hello to all our American friends. Ben and I went out there last year, and I know a number of them are watching today. So good morning to you, I should say, really.
Yeah, so we're just waiting now for the runners to come to 10-mile lane. So we should have, there's a few people now just coming past. This camera point, so it's just before 10-mile lane, and this is just as you're kind of coming out of Sedbergh. So a big thank you to Nigel Horsfall, former member of staff, who's kindly let us use his internet connection today. So we've got our OS treasurer who's filming at the moment outside of Nigel's house and picking up the runners as they come through. So, And after this location, it will be 10-mile lane that will hopefully have a camera to pick up the runners as they approach the mile mark.
And I just want to say thank you at this stage to our sponsor, Bob Peters, who's a fantastic chap, and it's technically very difficult to transmit from the Fells, and of course that costs money, and without Bob Peters from Travel Counsellors, it would not be possible. So thank you to Bob, a tremendous friend of the school, and
can we just give an extra shout out to Bob, because he's also on the course filming for us today.
He is also on the course. He's doing everything. He's a man of many talents.
So Bob will be at Rookett Gill.
Yes.
So just before the runners drop down to Courtley, he'll be there. So he's not only sort of sponsoring the race, but he's kindly helping us film out on the course. So massive thank you to Bob.
Now today, Ben, there's going to be people that we're expecting to win or to come in the top 6, and we spoke to some of them earlier. We saw in the footage earlier.
Yeah.
So who do you know who's sort of we can expect to do well today?
Yeah, there's the boy called George, who I think is sort of, one of the favourites. I think he'll do well today. Once we get the footage in a second at 10-mile lane, we'll be able to see sort of how they're going. And there's a couple of the girls' race is looking very exciting with lots of.
So is the girls' race expected to be a tighter race?
Yeah,
than the boys,
absolutely. I think so. Yeah, I mean, obviously you never know in the 10 miles, so both races hopefully will be good.
So is that some runners walking back there we're just seeing? I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I think there'll be people probably sort of giving words of encouragement now, walking back as the runners come through.
So so we have some messages. So Cynthia is currently watching in Portmadog in a caravan, and delighted to see the weather is so sunny. In her year, it was so muddy she slid down. Sorry, slid down muddy slide. Well,
you're faster than the auto cue. This is how technical we are now this year. We've got an auto cue.
Her parents didn't recognise her at the finish. Well, I know that feeling. As I say, my dad didn't recognise me. Never mind.
Thank you very much,
yes,
Cynthia, for sending that in. That's great to hear from you. So, yeah, here we go. So we got the runners now coming into 10 Mile Lane. Just come in. So as they come past the camera here, they'll just be turning off onto 10 Mile Lane. So this is sort of just the junction that we're getting to here, 10 Mile Lane.
So we've got Alfie Sanosi has a message to the Evans lads. It says, good luck from Singapore. And it says, bring it home, lads. Thank you, Alfie.
Fantastic.
So I don't know what time it is in Singapore, but it must be pretty late, I think.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, good to hear from you, Alfie.
So now whereabouts are we here on the course?
Yeah, this is 10 Mile Lane. Yeah, just coming up to 10 Mile Lane. So the runners are coming past us now. And they're just kind of literally turning off to go down 10 Mile Lane. So they're about 0.9 miles into the race here. And you can see with the cloud, there's a bit of cloud coverage with the sky there. Lots of blue sky as well there, which is fantastic. Look at those schoolhouse guys all running together, and that's good to see. So they must be running around, pushing each other around as a team. And yeah.
So just while watching this, apparently we had 25 staff set off at 5 a.m. on the course this morning. And we've had reports that a Year 10 English class had to be relocated due to the fact the teacher could not walk upstairs.
we won't mention any names there, shall we?
But well done to the English teacher for trying.
Yeah, that's great. Well, so that English teacher has done more than we have today. So big.
I love the story of course, the longest time taken to do the Wilson Run was 26 hours by a teacher. I think it was probably in the 1890s or something. Who set off and then had a rest at Courtley for a night. They wondered where he was. But
thankfully he came back in one piece after that 26 hours.
At least I beat someone.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Excellent stuff. So so we now got a little bit of a break until the next camera. So obviously still got the camera at 10 Mile Lane, but our next camera will be at the top of Thrush Gill, which is Fawcett's Bank. So we'll be kind of zooming into there soon.
And Thrush Gill, that is quite a climb, isn't it?
It is, quite a climb. It's probably one of the it's probably the steepest climb, because you're not just coming out of the gill. You've got kind of Thrush Gill and Muddy Slide, where you've got a steep ascent out of the kind of gill, but then it kind of carries on sort of for the field afterwards, where you sort of kind of then got more steady climb until you get to the sort of flat bit at the top.
Because we all talk about Muddy Slide as if that's the true horror of the Wilson Run, but of course Thrush Gill is up there really.
It is.
But I think one of the things was as a runner you're still quite fresh when you get there, so you can cope with it.
Is exactly what I was actually going to say. And that's very true. So by Muddy Slide you're sort of probably around about sort of 6.5 miles in, and you've had that sort of differing sort of terrain over that 6.5 miles, so your legs are pretty full of lactic acid and pretty tired by that point.
So while we've got a sort of break in the running here, I'd just like to mention on the pre-show there, I've talked about the 500 for 500 appeal, which is our appeal this year. One of the things that the school does is it funds fully funded places for talented children from disadvantaged backgrounds. It's very important to us. It's part of the headmaster's, Dan Harrison's, ethos that he wants people to be able to come here from all walks of life. And so we're asking people if they can donate £8.33 a month, and at some point we'll put the sort of link up on the screen. But it is very important, isn't it, Ben? And it does a tremendous amount of good.
Very much so, yeah. Absolutely, a really worthwhile cause, and so many people in the community have been so generous over the years to support pupils.
Of course they all actually just are funded by donations, by philanthropy, and we heard from Amelia Horan earlier, who sang so beautifully last night for us, and she was saying that she's the first woman in her family to go to university, and that is a direct result of people paying for her to come here, which is just wonderful.
Absolutely. It's incredible. So I'm just thinking now, Jan, actually, we've got some footage of Thrush Gill. So the runners will be sort of making their way along 10 Mile Lane to Green Hill, and they'll be descending into Thrush Gill. So in a second, we'll hopefully have some footage that we can show you, a clip that I sort of filmed earlier in the week, where we sort of talk about Thrush Gill and what to expect there, as we can't get cameras there. Okay, we're now reporting from Thrush Gill, which is around 2 miles into the course. In front of me here, you can see there's a steep descent, so the runners shortly will be coming
down here, through the gate, around these trees which are just in front of me and across the water. It's a very, very sort of tricky bit of the course, this, very technical. I can't underestimate how hard it is to sort of come down here, especially as it's sort of been raining quite a bit recently, so the ground does give a lot. So there'll be lots of runners coming through. We've had the walkers come through this morning and the also beginners that get to walk the course and run the course in the morning. So it's especially sort of slippy. And then as you cross the water, it's quite exciting here really, because there's in front of me there's two sort of ways you can go. So you can go up to the left and hit sort of the trees here and do an L sort of bend and then kind of come up at the top by the gorse bushes, whereas the more adventurous runners, they'll go straight up in a straight line and sort of tackle the gradient and get it over and done with. And it's a shorter distance, but obviously takes a lot out of your legs, and you really do feel the lactic acid kind of either way really, but especially going straight up. And then once they get out at the top there, there's a live stream camera which will pick the runners up as they kind of come over the sort of the brow of the hill coming out of Thrushgill. But we just wanted to sort of bring you this footage here because we can't get the cameras sort of in this sort of gill due to the reception, just to give you a taste of what it's like for the runners as they come through Thrushgill.
There we go. So I hope that gave everybody a bit of an insight into Thrushgill.
It's a reminder of what we went through.
Yeah, just to let the viewers know, in terms of we've got George from Schoolhouse has taken the lead, and then we've got Elif leading the girls' race from Robertson House. So we'll be able to give you sort of more up-to-date sort of time splits and a full sort of top sort of 10 leader board later as we get through the race. It's just a bit complicated at the moment because all the kind of the tracking's all sort of
and
quite
were
close
they the favourites, Ben?
Yeah, both those people. Yeah, they're as I said, George's a favourite and Edith as well as a favourite. So yeah, all yeah. But obviously it's early days. We're sort of about 1 and a bit miles into the race now. So yeah, still a long way to go. But yeah, they're looking strong.
So so we have a message from Francesca from Dubai. Just reading the message here. So she says, good luck to my brother and sister, Hugo and Annie. Well, good luck to them. And thank you, Francesca, for writing in. Sunny Dubai.
Sunny Dubai is
brilliant. But we can actually compete with the weather today. So that's good news.
But it's just great. We're getting all these messages from around the world, which was great to hear. So yeah, so it shouldn't be too long now. We'll be the runners will be sort of a kind of Thrushgill, so they'll be going up kind of Green Hill as we're speaking now, and they'll soon be approaching Thrushgill.
So Tom Nicholson has written in and said, my objective 69 years ago was to beat my father's time.
Suspense.
Yes, and as we read this, as it's been sort of typed on the auto cue, as it were, and he succeeded.
Way!
Well done, Tom Nicholson. We're very proud of you.
Excellent stuff. Fantastic. Good stuff. Okay.
So we have another message here. Great build-up and looking forward to race coverage.
Excellent. So I think we've got a camera feed here from top of Thrushgill, Fawcett's Bank. So we're just getting that camera in position. Got a lovely sunny sky and some sheep.
So yes, we had a great build-up and looking forward to race coverage. Thank you from James Phillips, proud grandfather. There we go. So who's this chap? Who was that chap?
That was we got a marshal there, David,
nice.
and then.
And in fact, well, actually, it's a good time actually to say thank you to all the farmers.
Yes.
Who allow us to use their land year after year. We really are very, very appreciative for allowing this historic race, and also to all the marshals.
Yes.
Because they work very hard, and it's all voluntary. So thank you to them.
And one thing that we didn't mention actually, we have there's a marshals dinner and farmers dinner actually that the school host a few weeks just before the race today. So that's just a thank you to the farmers and to the marshals that do all that hard work to let the race happen. So that was a good night, I think. Last week. So we've got lots of messages coming in wishing the best to Schoolhouse. So yeah.
So Ben, we both trained for the 10 mile this year.
to varying degrees of success.
if you've got a few days training.
I did one epic, and then I fell over in the dark and bashed my knee.
Yeah, sorry, we just got a message just coming actually wishing the best to Schoolhouse to Chris Mather from Princeton in USA. So we met Christopher last May as well, didn't we? So brilliant to hear from you, Christopher.
Yeah, wonderful chap, wasn't he? And we had a lovely day in New York with him. So
and dinner at a lovely Italian restaurant, actually.
Yes,
it was brilliant.
yes.
So, yeah.
And now a message from Andrew Murray.
You still haven't mastered this whole too good yet.
Sorry, wait for the message to come up. We're just gifted amateurs then. I don't think the BBC will be fighting for a contract with us. So,
there we go. So it's just loading up now. You got it. I think you can go now. You
yeah. So Andrew Murray writes in and says he's sitting working from home, watching live streaming, and looking at photos from my own Wilson run, and he says great memories. Thank you, Andrew Murray. So not the Andrew Murray, probably.
I don't think Andrew Murray, the tennis player, came to say, but great to hear from you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one is coming up. Thrushgill now. Here we go. We've got the camera. So here we go. I think this is George coming up Thrushgill, and you can see. Look at that.
He's looking pretty good.
He's looking really good,
yeah.
And you can see behind this. That's the distance there. That hill. That's where they descend from Green Hill. So you can really get an idea, as we had that sort of footage before, of that sort of drop down and then the climb up. So that you can see the gorse bushes just sort of at the end of the first bit of field at the front end of the camera here, and that's where they kind of come out of. So we'll see some of the runners come out from the gorse bushes, but that's the steep bit behind there, and then it's sort of just a gradual rise up towards the camera, but it's sort of endless. It really is sort of tough on the legs, isn't it, Ian, when you come up here?
So he's quite far ahead.
Yes, yeah, he's got a good lead already.
We do have some profiles, don't we?
We do, yeah. So we'll maybe drop a profile in a second of George, just to say, but actually before we do that, there's some runners coming now, actually. So we've got the next one is coming.
So George must be a good minute ahead of the stage, I think.
Yeah, it looks like so, yeah, because it's a good sort of 30 seconds or so since he passed the camera, and these runners have still got to get to the camera. And if you can see here, look, the people are taking different lines. So me just going a little bit wider there. So yeah, we've got sort of Cedric Hart, Schoolhouse, and Winder.
Of course, there's something different. We didn't run in school colours.
So Bruno from Powellhouse is in second as he came past there, and Walter and Hart is in third. So that's sort of the top three boys as we get to sort of just over 2 mile mark. And Louis in Schoolhouse that we saw is in 4th place. So yeah, oh God, it's such a lovely day. It just makes me want to be out there running at the moment. It's
just taking you back.
Yeah,
really.
I just it's
because we were talking earlier about training, and you were going to run around this morning.
Yes,
yeah. Is it life got in the way, or?
Well, just I wanted to go live on air with some cameras that worked this time.
Well, yes. Work got in the way. Then, yes.
I don't think I would have been able to sort of relax so much around the course, not knowing that the cameras were definitely going to work. But so far, touch wood, so good. So thank you for the team that's helping us today. As we mentioned, we've got a big team of people that are helping both in the office and in the studio and out on the course filming. So thank you. This happened. So yeah, that was a quick shot there of the next camera, which is, so we've got Bob's brother, we mentioned, who's our sponsor, Will, is filming here for us at Thrushgill. And you can see there's lots of runners coming up now. And then we just had a shot then of Rooker Gill, which is where Bob is filming for us. So that will be the next camera location. So here we go. So all the runners. So we got the first steps, and the girl runners are coming through now.
Of course, they start off together, don't they?
Everybody starts together.
Yes,
yeah. So Maddie and Elif in Robertson are the leaders. So that was Maddie and Elif that were coming through. And we spoke to Maddie, I spoke to Maddie a few days ago, didn't I? And she was looking confident. So she's obviously doing really well at the moment up there with Edith at the front. So that's great to see. So yeah, and just please keep your messages coming in. It's been brilliant hearing from so many people in the OS SEBA community. And what's nice actually, Anna, we've got, for those people who are actually in SEBA today, we've got a big TV screen, haven't we, at the finish. So it's very professional. Not only have we got our auto cues and sort of studio set up this year, we've also got a huge kind of TV at the finish line with the streaming being shown.
Yeah, it's nice. It actually just brings the foals closer to home in a way, doesn't it?
It does.
So you can see what's going on. So if we go back to the sort of beginning of the race, they used to have cyclists. So going back 140 years, the cyclists would sort of come backwards and forwards and report on who was winning. And then they went to, I think they then used semaphore at one stage. But when I was here, I was in the sort of the CCF in the signals. And so I was perched at Danny and with a sort of a massive radio and a sort of, an aerial which was about 100 yards long, sort of reporting back. So this was the days before we had mobile phones.
Okay. Was it still black and white photography?
It was. Yes.
Excellent. No. Yeah, so we can see the runners are still making their way up the hill here, so it's a tremendous effort. And we've got to remember, as we said before, it's not just about the front runners. It really is, it's about everybody taking part, and at the back, at the middle. It's everybody's got their story to tell in terms of getting around the course.
Especially Angus Scott here. So we've got a message. He says, "Thanks for the coverage. Please don't forget the back markers, the real fighters of the course. Angus Scott, last place, 1984. Bless you, Angus. You're my kind of person."
But it is so true. Like it's it's a real achievement, whether you're sort of towards the back, the middle, or the front. And as we know, also big in dinners that we host around the world, everybody talks about their Wilson run time, and it gets kind of faster, doesn't it? As they get older, they shave off a few minutes here and there, and add a
nice message here. It says, "We're enjoying the race, Jan and Ben. You're looking great! Exclamation mark! Great coverage. Happy 500th birthday." To Sedba, that is, not to me. Not Jan. It says not Jan.
It does. Yeah, maybe you sort of more like 450, I think.
Yes. It's been a long day. It's from Adrian and Ruth Harvey. I stayed with Adrian and Ruth Harvey. Bless them. Wonderful people out in the USA. And so glad to hear from them. They're very special people indeed. So, yes, bless you. And I'm glad you're watching the race. So,
yep, and we've still got coverage here coming up with Thrushgill. So lots of people you can see. It's really packing in here. This sort of the middle of the field, and lots of people, pretty much heel to heel here of runners.
And we've got a message here. Best of luck to Robert from Hart House. Love, Nan and Grandad. So nice. Good luck, Robert. There you go.
Brilliant. So yeah, so it shouldn't be long now before we get to kind of Rooker Gill. I think George, the leader, will be enjoying that. And we've got a message. Joyce watching her granddaughter, Ella, from Portugal. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Joyce. Hope
Welcome,
it's lovely
Joyce.
and warm.
Yeah.
Lovely and warm in Portugal, I'm sure.
It's a lovely place, Portugal.
I've never been, actually. Have you been?
I have been, yes.
It's on my list of places.
Nice times there with my family when they were younger.
So, we've got a message from Cornwall. Greetings from Cornwall. Well done, you two, on your thrones. Oh, Mr. Holmes.
Hello,
Mr. Holmes,
Nick.
great to hear from you, Nick. Yeah, we chose these chairs.
Nick Holmes, a great friend of Sedba.
Well,
yes.
Nick, we chose the thrones because we kept sliding around on the sofa. Yes. It was a bit too big. So this keeps us in the right position.
Yes.
So, yeah, great to hear from you, Nick. Hopefully catch up soon. Okay.
So while we're just watching these people come up from Thrushgill, just a reminder. Perhaps we've got some footage about the 500 for 500 appeal.
Yeah.
Just to in this 500th year, as I say, what we're trying to do is to raise money for 2 Roger Lupton scholars to come here. And it's very important. It's life-changing, isn't it, Ben, for those children? So
we've got a little bit of footage that I think will come in sort of shortly. I think we're just sort of not too far away from Wicket Gill now. I think George must be approaching Wicket Gill soon, so it might be that we'll hopefully maybe get it in just before that camera, or we might just have that footage drop in just after we've seen George come through Wicket Gill. So yeah, but you can just see how big the field here is, Jan. You know, we've still got lots of pupils coming up the hill at Thrush Gill at Fawcett's Bank here, and it sort of just shows that, you know, such a big field of 200, just over 200 people.
I mean, it is a tremendous challenge, and I think it is the making of people, the Wilson Run.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, like, that's a serious hill. That's a serious climb, and it's not just the climb; it's the descent, and as we mentioned before, it's the sort of just the variance in the kind of the course. You know, you're going from a road to you know, straight into a steep descent like this, and then you've got lots of bogs, lots of, you know, undulating landscape, and then sort of back on the road. So yeah, most school runs are, you know, one or the other, aren't they? Sort of more of a road or a cross country or a fell, but this has got a bit of everything. Okay. So yeah, so I think yeah, we'll hopefully have some footage of the 500 for 500 in a second. It looks like yeah, the next camera is hopefully going to be actually Courtly. Might be Wicket Gill. I think there might be like sort of maybe a technical issue there at the moment.
So,
yeah.
so do you want to look at some of the profile? Can we look at some of the profiles of the runners? Or?
Yeah, we'll speak to the team. We do have a profile on George, so if we can have the profile on George, here we go. So this gives the viewers a bit of an insight in terms of George's form at the moment. So he was second in the Wilson Run last year with a 1 hour 23 seconds, and then we had the Simmons Run in honour of Hugh Simmons, who sadly passed away at the end of 2024. A great man, as we sort of mentioned in my interview with Charles Sykes, and he finished 12th in that race, and he was the first sixth former to finish in 30 minutes 0 and 2 seconds, which is a very respectable time in the Morgan. And then he was the first sixth former in the 10-mile relay. So yeah, the form is on his side.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
So George, 1 minute 24 last year.
Yeah.
And this year, I
think,
mean, you must have improved quite a bit.
I think so. I mean, obviously as well. Remember last year it was very, very wet, the conditions.
Yes.
So I think that you know, this year as well.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, he's obviously, I'm sure, improved. Done lots of training, as when we spoke to him the other day, and yeah, he's obviously got good conditions where it's nice and dry.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to now just, as we mentioned, just play the 500 for 500 video that Jan mentioned just before.
I want to say a few words about Sedbergh. More and more, and especially under the leadership of the current headmaster, Dan Harrison, the school seeks to educate those from all walks of life. It takes this duty very seriously, and currently we have 12 fully funded places for talented individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds, funded by the generous gifts from those in the Sedbergh community. We want to do more, and this year we have launched the 500 for 500 appeal, and we ask if people can donate £8.33 a month for 5 years, and together this will allow us to offer a place for a talented girl and a talented boy, such that their lives will be changed forever and we can improve social equality. We who came to Sedbergh are fortunate. Through accident of birth, we came here and our lives were changed forever with all the opportunities that afforded. Likewise, we who are able to send our children to Sedbergh are most grateful. Not everyone is so lucky. Of course, we cannot change the world, but we can at least impact 2 lives. And I ask if you can help us in this appeal. The link is below, and together we can make the world a better place. Thank you.
And there you go. So if you can help us, that'd be marvellous. We will be putting the link across the bottom of the screen. But it's a very, very worthy cause, isn't it?
Very worthy cause. And there's the QR code just on the screen there for those people who want to sort of zap the QR code to get more
Just
information.
use your phone with your camera and it'll take you to the link.
And then we're live now at Rooker Gill. So actually we've got the coverage. We picked up the coverage. So George and the sort of lead runners have just gone through actually. So you can see here, this is, we mentioned before about Bob, our sponsor. This is his camera location. So thank you, Bob, again for helping us out today. So the runners are kind of coming along this path here. So it undulates along sort of the edge of the fell. And just past the camera where Bob's sort of standing, they'll be dropping down towards Courtley. So George and the lead runners will be on their way down towards the barn at Courtley, that many old Suburgians will remember well from running, and making their way to the first official checkpoint.
Just a reminder, that QR code there is if you can help us with the 500 for 500 appeal, just use your phone to scan it using the camera on your phone, and that will just take you to the link. And you know, every bit helps, and for a very worthy cause for 2 young people to change their lives.
And we've just got a message in from James Phillips. Asks, what are the house colours? Caris, red, blue, Evans, yellow. Obviously, it is Evans. We've got Hart, which is green, Lupton black, Pole is pink, and Robertson is a turquoise blue, and Sedgwick is red. Schoolhouse is a royal blue, and Windsor is a purple. So yeah, if you're looking to sort of cheer for a particular house, those are the colours that you're looking out for.
And there is a house competition, isn't there?
There
apart
is,
from individual,
yeah.
yes.
So I believe it's the first 10 finishes, obviously with the fewest amount of points, wins the competition for the house. So I think it was Evans in terms of the boys' house the last 2 years, and yeah.
And the good thing about that, it encourages the stronger runners in the house to help the sort of not so sort of regular runners to get round and to qualify, and that sense of team spirit is great, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's obviously I think it was Lupton. I think maybe the girls, I might be wrong on this. I'll double check that for last year's of female house winners. But yeah, absolutely, and it's strength by numbers, isn't it? I think if you get more people to qualify, you've got a stronger sort of team and strength and depth in the house to get people around. Because
the Wilson Run is not necessarily about glory; it's about attainment, isn't it? Which is a great thing.
Absolutely.
We've
got a message from Simon Coulson in Thailand. He says, "Thank you very much for the coverage. I'm watching from in Thailand. Ran in 1969. Happy to finish. Brilliant to hear from you, Simon. I hope all is well in Thailand." Brilliant. So we're just going to watch the sort of runners come through here, but shortly we'll have some drone footage from the start that our colleague Matt managed to take for us at the start line as the runners set off from Lupton. And here we go now. We're going to share the footage with you. Look how amazing that looks, doesn't it? How glorious does that look? Brilliant footage.
Makes you proud, doesn't it, Ben?
It does, yeah. It really does. It's incredible. We haven't. This is the first sort of shot that we've got this high up, looking across the sort of Caris House there to Main Street, and then obviously getting the runners all there in the shot, in the forefront of the shot, with all the kind of people parked up on the Lupton field ready to watch the finish.
So we've got a wonderful message from one of our former scholars, Yaromir in Ukraine. Good luck to Taras, Elena, and the Evans boys. Thank you, Yaromir.
Okay, that's incredible footage there. Thank you very much to Matt, our colleague. But that was, amazing, wasn't it? It's so high up, and just seeing the Caris House, you got Main Street, and all the runners disappearing off down back lane towards 10 Mile Lane.
We've got a wonderful message here from Nick Hodson. He says, "Thank you, Ben and Jan. I had anxiety flashbacks from Thrush Gill. Nick Hodson from a not so sunny Manchester. Well,
that's a change. Isn't it?
That's a change. So
normally the other
Nick.
way around.
Nick, a good friend
yeah.
of the school, and a good personal friend as well. So it's great to hear from you, Nick.
Normally sunnier in Manchester than it is in Sedbergh, but yeah, thank you. So we got the boys' order at Courtleigh. So the George has just arrived at Courtleigh. We got first George, and then Walter from Hart House is in second. And then we got Bruno from Pole House, who is in third. So that's the top three boys. And we got some footage here at Courtleigh. It's brilliant. Isn't this amazing? And the cameras are on fire today.
Yes, you should not say that. This could be the end of the transmission.
Oh,
now.
this is great.
Yes.
So
we have had our challenges in the past, haven't we?
Yeah, it's all but it's just great, isn't it? It's been a real team effort, hasn't it? Throughout the whole. Yeah.
And we're very grateful, of course, to Shockwave, who help us year after year.
Reese and the team.
Yes.
But, yeah, we've sort of kind of tweak things every year, and we're getting some footage. So, yeah, so that's really good.
So you said that, and then that sort of froze.
Well, we were just flicking back to to Ricky Gillian. So we got the girls order at Courtleigh, and that'll be coming through shortly. So we'll keep you updated on the top 3 or so girls. But we can see, they're coming through. But this is incredible. So just to give the viewers a bit of insight here. So obviously it's freezing a little bit, the footage here at Courtleigh, but this is somewhere we would never ever get any footage from, and we've actually got a Starlink camera there, so that's kind of picking up a bit of signal, but it's sort of, I think, just in a bit of a dip where the cameraman is at the moment. So yeah, it's just great to have a bit of footage. So we got the girls order. So we got Maddie Robertson, who's in first, and we've had a little bit of a change. So Jemima from Lupton is in second, and Edith is in third from Robertson. And then we've got Elsie, who's fourth, and Ella from Robertson, she is in fifth. So that's the top 5 girls. Well done, everybody. So yeah, and here we go. Yep. So some more runners coming over. So this camera here is just below the crossing point at Courtleigh. So the OS watching will remember this bridge well. So it's just as you kind of go up the track that hits the road and the checkpoint there. So they are just coming over the bridge. It's a short ascent up to the road, and then that's when they'll cross over the road and go through the field.
Because of course the run down to Courtleigh it's a nice run because it's sort of gently sloping. You can go at quite some speed, and then you get to Courtleigh, and then it just seems like it's forever.
So we got some footage here. This is George already. This is Sleeper, and look at that view. So that's George coming through at Sleeper onto Borfell. So you can see there. This is George is doing very well indeed. Is on a good pace here. So that is the first kind of camera that we've got as you kind of come on to Borfell, and what a view that is, isn't it? Look at the clouds
and beautiful, yes.
And the Howgirls.
People said this morning who were out on the fells how beautiful it was.
Yeah, it's just absolutely stunning. So big thank you to Maria from our office, who's filming at this location. So some brilliant footage. So yeah, just popping back to get the runners that are coming through Rooker Gill. So we'll keep kind of obviously sort of making sure we kind of cover as many pupils as possible as they come through different checkpoints, different camera locations.
So Ben, can I ask you, did you have a race plan?
Did I have a race plan? In my first year that I did it, no, I just went crazy.
You didn't win in your first year, did you?
No. So yeah, my first year. So I kind of just went out, didn't really think too much about it, and attacked the race, and didn't quite work because ended up with cramping. The wheels came off at Danny, but I learned from that.
So where were you at Danny? Were you winning?
I was up there, yes. There was Joe and I who were, and actually Richard Scott, who was just sort of with us too. So we were all pretty much together coming off Danny, and then that's when I kind of ran into some troubles. But yeah, Joe was brilliant runner, still is, and he did a great job, and I sort of learned a lot, I think, from that first year, as everybody did.
So we have a message here from Richard Harris, who writes, "The 10 was epic. I remember grunting and running up from Courtleigh with Rob Swan." Of course, Rob Swan, the famous explorer, first man to go to the South Pole and North Pole solo.
We had a chat, didn't we, with Robert a few years ago, and he was saying that when he does his expeditions, he sort of breaks it down into sort of the 10 mile, because obviously there's lots of ice and not many sort of scenic things to sort of look at, that he sort of would break it down into sort of chunks of the 10 mile, didn't he?
Yes, he would, and of course he sang the refrain, strain and struggle, might and main, just to sort of get him through all the ice flows or whatever he had to sort of go over. So,
got a message from Jan Adams.
Yeah, Jan, good afternoon to you. Great to hear from you. Jan Adams, sort of really part of an institution. And she says, great to see Henry from Adelaide, interviewed earlier. Terrific for the Proudman family, who will be arriving for the 500th celebration in May. They are coming en masse. And I have to say, the Proudman family are wonderful people. And I still remember them when they were at Sedbergh. And I think it was David Proudman who was very kind to me. I think I'd done a little a reading in chapel when I was in the sort of lower fourth, and he came up to me afterwards as a sort of prefect and sort of just said, well done. And that meant a lot of those days. So bless you, all of you. But Jan, great to hear from you.
That gave you the confidence to do the live streaming.
Yes, from those humble beginnings, you see the seed he sowed.
That's amazing. So yes, we've got some more footage here from Sleeper. So there's the pupils come through. So schoolhouse people here coming through. But yeah, some fantastic footage coming through. Yeah, so we've got Chris Martin Smith, who's contacted us to say sadly he never ran the 10 competitively, as he was too ill in lower sixth form, and in upper six. He suffered a freak injury the night before the race. Oh, that's.
I am intrigued by this freak injury.
Yeah,
I must say, but I hope he's recovered.
Yeah. Well, I hope, Chris, you've managed to obviously enjoy the coverage and kind of experience the race a few years later.
We've
got some more.
We're going to find out.
Yeah. Here we go. So the freak injury involved a broken soap dish in Sedgwick House. So there we go.
They are dangerous things. Health and safety was not what it is today.
Yeah.
So, good to hear from you anyway.
So we've got some more runners here coming through at Sleeper.
So now whereabouts are we? So the Sleeper is...
Sleeper's the first as you kind of ascend onto Boar Fell. So the lead runners are now making their way across towards Muddy Slide. So they're about sort of 5 miles into the race now, 5 and a bit miles into the race. So you can see the sort of spread in the field. So we've got sort of runners still coming through at Rooker Gill, which is about sort of half a mile from Courtley, and then we've got the runners. So you can actually see, so in the distance there, that is kind of the fields before it gets onto the sort of the light green fields as it goes up on the fell behind there, and the far end of the shot. That's them descending down into Courtley. So you've got people still sort of descending down there, while these pupils are now kind of onto Boar Fell, and then parallel.
At this part of the race, when you ran it the second time, how do you sort of decide, you have to pace yourself, you have to be at a certain place at a certain time, or do you just literally just push yourself as hard as you can?
Yeah, I had like a plan of like where I wanted to be at a certain time, so I just sort of stuck to that. I know that with Fraser Sproul, who obviously started the race today and the current record holder, he was like, to every second had every split worked out, and his father and support crew were there, and literally he was on track every single checkpoint to the second. It was incredible, and it was a sort of master plan that was thought out in terms of getting that record broken. So we've still got runners coming through. So we've got a Powellian, My Old House, coming into shot. So do you remember much of Boar Fell?
I don't.
You can't. You erased it. Eh?
Yeah. No. I mean, it is wonderful because, of course, it's the hardest race of any school in the country, and you think about the people who have run that race since whatever it was, 1871, is it?
1881.
1881. Beg your pardon.
Yeah.
And some of them, their lives were cut short by war. Some went on to do great things, but they all ran the same race. They all had the same experience, and that is part of the joy of the Wilson Run.
It is. Like we said, at any OS event, wherever it is, whether it's in Singapore, Hong Kong, London, at Sedbergh, everybody sort of talks about the Wilson, and I think last night, as we mentioned, that the atmosphere in the dinner is really special. Just shows how how much affection people have for the race.
I just saw the flash up that Maddie is the first girl past Sleeper.
Yep. So it looks like she's, we sort of saw her come through, and we've got a profile here. So Maddie was second last year. So very similar to George, actually, isn't it? So both came second last year. And Maddie was 1 hour 41, as we can see there. And then she didn't run in the Simmons run back in January, and was the 5th, 6th former in the 10-mile relay. So the 10-mile relay obviously nothing like the 10 in terms of distance. It's a short lap around the cross-country course, which is in between Sedgwick House and Schoolhouse. And so it looks like with Maddie, I think the longer distance probably suits her better. So well done, Maddie. She's looking very, very strong out in the front at the moment. I think we've got a runner coming through here that looks like, Lupton. That might have been Scarlett, possibly, coming through.
Everybody's so nice. The things you get taught are amazing. You learn new things, new styles how to play, new types of kicks, different players. I love Sedbergh courses because I just feel like I have a bit more confidence to make new friends. My favourite coach is Jake because he's really nice, he's really funny, and he joins in with what we do, and it just improves the mood. It's just a really nice environment. The rooms are really nice, the food's good, and the common rooms are really good because they've got stuff to do. And it's just a really good way to meet new people and have fun.
So the Easter and summer courses, really excellent. I think, do your children go on it? Because my grandchildren certainly go on it.
They do, yeah. No, it is fantastic. It really is. They've got everything in terms of sport, music.
Yeah. So my eldest grandson, he did the theatrical course, really enjoyed it, and of course the others did the sporting courses, which they found great fun.
No, they are absolutely brilliant, amazing coaches, and it's just it really gives people a flavour of Sedbergh life as well, because it's over 4 days. Monday to Thursday, and brilliant. I think this we've got the live picture of a Hartonian. Is I think maybe
he looks a bit tired.
I think he's stopping for a few jelly babies.
Yeah,
possibly.
I think so. Yes.
It looks hot out there, doesn't it? So we've just had an update that George is approaching Hebblethwaite.
Now Hebblethwaite, where are we now on?
So that's Muddy Slide.
That's Muddy Slide.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Yes.
So that's the kind of second major checkpoint before Danny Bridge. So George is looking very strong. So here we go. So this is footage we've got here from Spectators Hill of George. So this is him approaching. This is incredible. This just shows how the technology has moved on, Jan. So this is a cameraman that we have up on Spectators Hill with a Starlink zooming in on George coming down towards Muddy Slide. So at the moment, the cameraman is probably about half a mile away or more from George.
Compared to former years,
this is good. I can relax now. This is great. We got all sorts of footage coming in. So incredible. So you can see he's moving really well here. So this will be interesting. Which line will he take? Will he go straight down the front, or will he bend around in front of the camera here and come around?
Which route did you take?
Straight down. I think he'll go straight down. So you can see there's some people there, and he's going to probably go straight past them and go straight down the steep. Here we go, straight down the steep bit. So he could have gone sort of to the side and then round the track and down, but he's gone straight down, which is that's the kind of the winner's way that most winners, whether it's the boys or the girls, take to victory. So looking very strong. Oh, we've got a message here from the 500 Jan.
We do indeed. It says, just wait for it to come through. So it says, thanks to David and Jen, who have messaged to say they have just signed up to the 500 for 500 appeal. Thank you, David and Jen. They said SEBRA provided an education for their 3 children, and they want to help others access the same education. Thank you. Certainly going to a worthy cause to help 2 young people come to the school. Thank you. And if you want to sign up, we have the QR code on screen. Just use your phone, and you'll be able to sort of click to the link. Thank you.
There we go. So we've got some. I think there must be on Sleeper here. That looks like there's definitely a jelly baby stop here. So there's lots of people sort of looking excited to see either some flapjacks or some jelly babies at Sleeper. Got 2 Hartonians coming to the camera. So yeah. So we mentioned there about Spectators Hill, where the camera was kind of focusing on George as he descended towards Muddy Slide, and yeah, that's Brian and Alison Williams, who are wonderful past teachers, and they are looking at, we've got some more footage from this cameraman I was mentioning, who is getting our second runner coming down, which is Walter from Hart House. So he's obviously trying to catch George, and looking good as well. But as I was mentioning there, so Brian and Alison Williams, they are kind of on marshal duty. So there's actually a bog near Brian, by Spectators Hill. It's called Brian's Bog, named after Brian Williams. So they are looking after our cameraman.
Is there a story to this?
No, well, it's very boggy, so you can get up to your literally up to your waist sometimes.
There are better things that I want to be named after.
But it's because Brian's been there for a long time. So we've got footage here of Walter coming down into Muddy Slide. This is brilliant. It really is. To get that footage all the way down to the descent into Muddy Slide is fantastic. So I think we probably have some footage in a second of George coming up to Spectators Hill shortly. There we go. That's a happy Luptonian. Yeah, must be some, like I said, some jelly babies there. So, good.
And of course, we're expecting the headmaster in a minute to come in. He's going to come in for a quick interview, isn't he?
He is, yeah. So he should be with us shortly, actually. So yeah, it'll be exciting to hear from Dan. So here we go. This is George. We've got him shot now, coming up Spectators Hill. So many Ulster Biggins and former members of the SEBRA community who have walked the course or run the course will know Spectators well. It's a big kind of, not a checkpoint in terms of timing, but it's a real focal place on the course. So George was there just coming up towards Spectators Hill. Hopefully we might get another image of him getting closer to the camera as he comes past. So Paul Reynolds, former head of SEBRA Junior School and housemaster of Cedric. Paul was housemaster of Cedric in my time. He sent in a message to say good luck to all the runners from the Algarve. Brings back fun but painful memories of Wilson Run training with the boys. Great to hear from you, Paul.
And just on cue, I've just mentioned that we'll be joined by the headmaster of SEBRA School, Mr. Dan Harrison. He's just walked into the studio, so he'll be joining us in a second.
Oh, here we go. So here's George. George is ascending up Spectators Hill. So you've got you can see now the kind of course is flagged as we kind of come up Spectators Hill. So he'll be making his way to Mr. and Mrs. Williams, who are the marshals in post at the top of Spectators Hill. He's looking very strong there. So here he comes. So yeah, Mr. Harrison, the headmaster, has just joined us. So this is Starlink technology, Dan. So we've got a Starlink camera at Spectators Hill. So we've got some good footage this year of the runners coming up Spectators Hill.
So Dan, I mean, it's been a tremendous 2 days. The dinner last night, and seeing everyone this morning. You know, so many people coming back for the race. It just really shows what a vibrant school Sedbergh is, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah, and yes, I think the weather helps. Being 500 helps, but actually over the last few years, the numbers of old Sedberghians coming back, the number of parents coming back, the number of people wanting to go to the dinner the night before, the number of people on the course this morning was quite fantastic.
And Dan, you ran around this morning, didn't you?
I went slowly around the course, Ben, this morning. Yeah, I was up at, I think we set up about 5:15 a.m.
I was still asleep then, just to let you know.
It turned light as we were approaching Courtley. But it's beautiful, actually. It's a really nice thing to do, and to get round the course and to do that early and have breakfast with the staff is a fantastic thing to do.
Because I think we've got a stat that it was 25 members of staff, I think, that ran around this morning.
I think there's 25 having bacon sandwiches and having coffee and reliving falls down Muddy Slide and all sorts of things.
So it was dark, obviously. What time did the sun rise?
Just before 6.
Okay, brilliant. So yeah, it is tricky when you're at Thrushgill with not much light.
Dan, we've been talking about the importance of Roger Lupton Scholars and really what they've done for the school. And of course, I know this is a big passion of yours to give an opportunity to people from all walks of life. And at the moment we have, you know, under your sort of leadership, we now have 12 fully funded places, and we're now pushing the 500 for 500 appeal to have 2 more. And you know, what does it mean to you personally to have these children here?
I mean, I think in many ways it goes all the way back to Roger Lupton. He was trying to provide an education for those that otherwise wouldn't have had it. So it's for those fully funded places, it just gives them an unbelievable start in life. They're often from disadvantaged backgrounds. They're often perhaps may have a particular talent, and it changes their life. And I think actually, holistically, Sedbergh benefits so much more from having a diverse range of pupils from all economic backgrounds in the school. It's really important. That's what Sedbergh's always been, and that's what Sedbergh always will be.
Because we're not about privilege. I think it's important to say that we're about education.
Completely. I don't think we've ever been about privilege or entitlement. It's about education, and it's about all sorts of things through your teenage years and preparing those 18-year-olds when they fly the nest, when they leave Sedbergh, for everyday life, which is ever changing and more complicated by the year. But if we can keep them younger for longer here, I think that's really important. To make them smile, to make them have fun, to educate them, and to leave in the best possible place. I think that's really important.
So Dan, yeah, really worthwhile cause, and it's just great to have so many fully funded scholarships at the school. As you can see in front of us on the screen, Dan, we've got the first girl runner, Maddie, who's just in shot there. So this is a shot, as I was saying to the viewers, where from Spectators Hill, zooming in from Spectators Hill. So this is the descent, as you'll recognise, down to Muddy Slides. So we've got the first girl runner, Maddie, who's approaching, Hebblethwaite.
I've saw Maddie come through Courtley. I've just got back from Courtley. I thought George Dodgson looked really strong at Courtley, as did Maddie. They both had good leads at that point in the race.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. Look, so some runners are going around the track, as we can see there, Dan. And George obviously went straight down. Where's Maddie going to go? Oh, yep, somebody's gone Winderhouse, but I think it's going down the front. And then Maddie's obviously going round the track.
This is going down to Muddy Slide?
Yeah, so this is the, where you can go around the track or go down straight down the front. So
this morning, Ben, at whatever time it was, myself and a governor, Ian Durrance, went straight over the top, and Ian took a bit of a tumble.
Did he?
Just at that point.
Well, was that sort of strategic tumble?
Well, no, I don't know.
Did he get down there faster than you?
He's just very competitive, really.
He descended fairly rapidly.
The question is, was he able to keep running when he got to the bottom?
He was. I was slightly worried that he'd hurt his knee, but he's a tough sort. And
that's good. Yeah.
He bounced back up, and he was fine.
Brilliant. Excellent. So the boys' order at Hebblethwaite, we've got George Schoolhouse is first, and then we've got Walter Harthouse and then Bruno from Pole House is in third, and then the fourth place is Louis from Schoolhouse. So yeah. So yeah, we're just flicking back now to Sleeper, and we can see sort of the middle of the pack coming through. Just saying now what a beautiful sort of image that is, isn't it, of the Howgills kind of courtly behind there.
It's just a fantastic day, and it's beautiful for the spectators. I was slightly hoping that the clouds would just come a little bit just to make it slightly less warm for the runners.
Did it feel hot at Courtley?
It didn't feel too bad at Courtley, actually.
Yeah.
It had clouded over a little bit, but it looks quite hot there on the screen.
Yeah, so that's Spectators Hill there. I think people kind of the winner there just going off the top of Spectators, running towards Danny. So we think here, Dan, there's a Jelly Baby station, because there's a lot of people that get quite excited when they come into the view of the camera.
I'm sure.
So we got shots of the finish here. So this is Lupton Fields. So the crowd is starting to gather at the finishing line, just outside our studio.
And Dan, last night we had some amazing people come back to Sedbergh. We had the oldest Wilson Run winner, Captain Bill Canning, DSO, MBE, and of course the oldest double Wilson runner, Gerald Tyler, and then to see 30 medal winners up on stage singing the Wilson Run song, once again was a fantastic evening, wasn't it?
It was a lovely evening. Obviously, it was a sellout. 220 people crammed into Pole Hall. I thought it was superb. We've never had that collection of elite runners back. We've never had that number of finishers in one room, of winners in one room before. I really enjoyed it. I think everybody did.
And what's your feeling? This is our 500th year. What are your thoughts about the school and how it's progressing?
I think we're in a good place. Our numbers for next year look strong. We know that the circumstances for the sector are difficult, but we look in a very strong place going into the storm. And I think the school is thriving. There's record numbers back today. I've never seen more parents ever here at Sedbergh in one place for one function.
No, it certainly has a very good feel about the place at the moment, isn't it?
I think so. And which is great. And there's lots and lots of reasons for that. There's no one reason. There's a lot of extremely good staff here working extremely hard.
Indeed, there is.
Yeah, so we've just got some more runners here coming up, Spectators. Going strong, looking really good. So, Danny, are you able to give us the time? Was it a good time going around this morning, or was it?
We took it relatively
steady. Don't put you on the spot here.
No, just a fraction over 2 hours.
Okay.
Just took it relatively steady. I quite enjoyed it, actually, Ben.
Yeah.
In previous years, I've slightly pushed it a bit more.
Yeah.
And enjoyed it less.
Well, I was just saying to the viewers earlier that I don't know. Do you know Mr. Johnny Campbell's time around this morning?
He told me at the start that it was 1:13.
Yeah, he was flying. I went out to sort of test one of the camera locations at just near Danny actually, and he was flying back. He was coming sort of towards Settlebeck Bridge and absolutely flying.
And that's 1:13 where he will have had to open all his own gates.
Yep.
And gone round the dog leg at Courtley. Yep. So it's quite a phenomenal time, actually.
Yeah. It looked very
and of course, Dan and Ben, you're both in training because in a few months' time, you're going to be running from York back to Sedbergh, 90 miles in 3 days, which will be a tremendous achievement. How is the training going?
Well, as we said, I did do my run this morning, so that's not too good.
I think of the 6 that are running, and I think probably there is more concern about me and Ben than anybody else.
Well, I'll have my car in support.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, and we will prepare slowly for it.
And of course, this marks a tremendous occasion, doesn't it? Because this is retracing the steps of our founder, Roger Lupton, who walked from Sedbergh to York to be ordained as an acolyte. And this will be on Midsummer's Day, and people can join us at the Midsummer Solstice Stride, as we call it. And then, of course, that night, having run 90 miles, you're going to go at Winder, torchlit parade with the whole school to make the same celebration as they did at our 400th in 1925. So it'll be a tremendous night, won't it?
I think so. I think the whole idea has, under the two of you, has gathered momentum, which is great. The first day will take us from York to Otley. Second day from Otley, along the Dales Way, and then we'll finish at Malham, and then Malham back to Sedbergh. So we'll see lots of people hopefully along the way, especially on the last day where we know many people will be joining us, and then we look forward to the function when we return, and we look forward to, of course, we think, if we can still move, Ben, going up Winder afterwards.
Just to say, sorry to interrupt there, we've got Maddie coming through at spectators, the first girl winner, coming into shot, and looking really strong then, isn't she, Dan?
She's looking good. I thought she looked really strong at Courtley.
Yeah.
And obviously second place last year, just second place.
Well, we were just saying that both George and Maddie were both second last year, weren't they? So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's, it's difficult if you have done well in your lower six, you are a favourite, and the pressure on you, and everybody's talking about you throughout the term, as you will know, Ben. And it's not easy.
No. But yeah, they're looking very strong.
So this is coming over spectators, Ben.
Yeah, this is coming up to spectators.
And
then we've got a camera at Danny that will be the next camera, so at the top of Danny car park.
So that's
which will be picking up George shortly. So we've got Jemima, who's second, coming in to the shot, I think, here
so
now.
she's not too far behind. She's caught up a bit, actually.
Yeah, so she's second. So yeah, we thought the girls' race looked like it was going to be quite close, didn't it? So it's not too far behind, is Jemima.
Jemima's picked up some places. I think she was
she
third or fourth through Courtley.
Yeah. So George is now coming up Danny. So we'll hopefully be able to kind of switch to the camera at Danny. So it shouldn't be long. He's just literally descending down to Danny Bridge. Jemima's coming past the camera now. Well done. So, and Dan, this evening we've got the Wilson Run concert, haven't we? Which will promise to be a brilliant evening as always.
Absolutely.
Sorry, just say we just got Elsie. Sorry, coming into shot as well. So Lupton second and third.
It's always a magical evening. The very special moment when the pupils come in the order that they finished into the Hearst Centre, and the cheers and the celebration and all of the noise that they get from their peers is spine tingling. It's a really special part of the year.
And for those viewers, OS and the members of the Sedbergh family that probably remember the concert being in Pole Hall, now it's in the Hearst Centre, which is our sort of double sports hall, and that's just to give the extra capacity for.
That's right. We can fit sort of 550, 600 in Pole Hall, but we can fit 900 in the Hearst Centre, and it's great to fit as many people as possible in there. We've obviously got lots of parents, but this year we'll have lots of Old Sedberghians as well.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Oh, here we go. So we've got the camera now at Danny. So this is another Starlink camera that we've got at the top here. So people are going down to support, I think, George as he comes through. So we should be able to pick him up shortly.
So we just lost Ben for a second. So Dan, you're going to be standing at the finish line in a few minutes.
Absolutely. I will leave you in a second, and I'll go and congratulate all the runners as they come in.
Yeah, that's always a great moment, isn't it?
And say well done, and absolutely. It's a very special part of our year, and an extremely memorable one for the pupils and of course for their parents.
Yeah.
So Dan, I know you're a busy man. You'll need to be going to the finish shortly.
I'm just about to go. I'll go and find the medals.
I was going to say that the medals.
Yeah. So top 6 boys, top 6 girls get medals, and we present myself and Richard Wells present them at the finish.
Brilliant, excellent. Oh, it's just stunning, isn't it? Just that footage there, that sleeper. I think that's probably my favourite shot of the course. That incredible. So here we go. Some more. The Hartonian.
Dan, we were just saying earlier, though, that one of the great things about the race is that the stronger runners help the weaker runners, that it's not just about personal glory, that it's about there's a definite team spirit about the whole race.
Certainly in qualification, absolutely. There will be bits of that today as well, down the field. But in the qualification process, as we approach the last couple of qualifiers, the whole house will get round the 1 or 2 pupils that haven't qualified. They'll carry their stuff for them, they'll carry their water, they'll carry their gels, they might pull them up the odd hill. And it's fantastic. Teamwork, camaraderie, leadership, all of those things.
Yeah.
So it isn't just a run. It's way more than that.
And in the pre-show, we were just saying, we talked about the change of the motto, and that we've actually taken the motto from a stanza in the Wilson Run song. Never shall you strive in vain, and that just shows really how important and synonymous the Wilson Run is with the ethos of the school, really.
Absolutely. And when we changed it, it went down well with Old Sedbergians and with Sedbergians, because I think that they can relate first of all to the line, to the words, but also to the memories that it will bring back.
Yes, and I think we always quote those lines anyway to ourselves when we're in times of stress.
So we've just got, I think, George coming up here. We just lost a little bit of signal here, but George is coming up here, a little bit patchy. But George is making his way to Danny Bridge car park. So he's gone through the Danny Bridge checkpoint. So sorry, we're just having a little bit of issue here, just I think with the signal, but hopefully we'll get that back. But here he comes past the crowd. So still looking strong. Great. Well, Dan, thank you. I know you got a dash, get those medals, but thank you for joining us in the studio.
No problem at all. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. So, we're just waiting now just to get the footage back of spectators there, and then we'll try and go back to Danny to, it looks like it's, I think, Walter in second in terms of the boys race. So Walter will be coming to Danny shortly, and we'll pick that camera back up. So George has got a 1 minute and 32 second lead at Danny Bridge. So here we go. So that's the runners coming through Danny Bridge now.
So from Danny Bridge back to Sedbergh, how long for the leaders to do that distance?
It's just under. Well, it depends. It depends how your legs are. I know that's the problem. That's the golden question.
Well, obviously, yes.
But yeah, it's just under 3 miles. So it's normally sort of I don't know, about sort of 15 to 20 minutes, depending on on terms of the pace. But yeah, that's the kind of untold kind of question that you hit the road and it's sort of feeling the legs, and are they going to go? Are they going to turn to jelly? So we'll see. But George was looking strong there as he was coming up the hill, as was Walter. So Oh.
Everybody's so nice. The things you get taught are amazing. You learn new things, new styles how to play, new types of kicks, different players. I love Sedbergh courses because I just feel like I have a bit more confidence to make new friends. My favourite coach is Jake because he's really nice, he's really funny, and he joins in with what we do, and it just improves the mood. It's just a really nice environment. The rooms are really nice, the food's good, and the common rooms are really good because they've got stuff to do. And it's just a really good way to meet new people and have fun.
Okay, Jan. So we just for the viewers, we had in terms of Danny Bridge car park, it looked like George had gone through, but I think that was actually Louis from Schoolhouse, and Walter from Hart House looks like he's in the lead. So on the tracking, yeah, it is looking like George hasn't come through Danny. So when we get more information, we'll update you. But yeah, it looks like at the moment, according to our tracking system, that Walter is at the front of the field as it stands. But as soon as we get more information, we'll
of course, one of the concerns today is it's quite hot, and
it is,
that will take its toll.
yeah. And that, you know, it's been over the years. There's been a number of races where the heat has really got to the runners. So hopefully, yeah, everybody's okay. And once we get more information, we'll let you know. So there's lots of runners here coming up. Danny. To the Danny car park there, from Danny Bridge.
Of course, that's quite a climb, isn't it? You've come off Ballfell, your legs are tired.
But it's, again, like I was saying, it's hitting that road. It's just that change in terrain. It's sort of, yeah, it really does sort of, you do feel it. And it is, you know, it's also the descent as well, Jan. It's, you know, that takes out your legs as well. Sort of, it's
and
quite
there's a lot of pounding on your legs, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And of course, you wear fell running shoes.
Yeah.
Which aren't really designed for road. They don't have as much cushioning, do they?
That's correct. Yeah. So yeah, obviously great on the fells, not so cushioned on the road. So yeah, so we've got some footage here. So it's a little bit patchy, just with it being so remote at Danny. But yeah, so we've got some cameras that are on their way back from Danny to Sedbergh. So we're hoping to get some footage from just outside of Fairfield Mill, the entrance to Fairfield Mill. So that's just past Hallbank. So we'll bring you that footage as soon as we've got that of the lead runners. And yeah, but please keep the messages coming in at osclub@sedberghschool.org. It'd be great to keep hearing from people. And thank you for those people who've messaged in from around the world.
And also, of course, those who have donated to the 500 for 500
Yeah, I believe we've had some donations come in
thank you to
throughout
those.
the show.
Very important. This will help change the lives of a young boy and a young girl and help them to come to Sedbergh.
Yeah, thank you for all your support. Here we go. So this is Walter, by the looks of things, coming past the entrance to Fairfield Mill. So here he goes. So yeah, so as we thought there, there's been a change in the lead with Walter taking the lead as he goes past the camera there.
So he'll be coming to Sedbergh in the next few minutes, really, won't he?
Yep, yeah. So the next camera is that we could just see there. It was Settlebeck Bridge. So that's literally about sort of less than a mile to the next camera, and it's all downhill, which is good.
Yes.
Except for
I like downhills.
Downhill to the next camera, and then obviously just a slight, a bit of an ascent, obviously.
Runs would be fine if there were no uphills. But yeah.
So looking strong. And we've just flicked back now to Spectators Hill. As the Osbergian who messaged in earlier, it's very important, as he said, to make sure that we get as many of the field in shot as we can. So do you remember running up Spectators Hill, or did you conserve the energy here?
I tried, but yeah, the legs are tired by that stage, really. So
you've got Winterhouse Boy and two Sedgwickians going strong. They've run up Spectators Hill.
So we have a message again from Jaromir. Wants to say thank you to everyone at Sedbergh who helps the school in providing pupils like him with the opportunities. Thank you, Jaromir, a super bloke, and a scholar of the school. Yeah. So that's very kind.
So yeah, sorry, we just got a little bit. There we go. So it's just a little bit glitchy, Danny, the signal, but it's kind of coming.
Well, I
and
have
going.
to say that the coverage from the fells has been fantastic this year.
Yeah, no, it has. Apart from just the.
This is when we should retire, Ben. On a high.
I've had about 7 sleepless nights leading up to this.
It'll never be this good again.
So yeah, it's great that we've got some great footage. Oh, and so there we go. So we're just back now to Fairfield Mill. So we should be getting the next one is coming through. So this is interesting. So now we mentioned that. Yeah, so that's Louis, I think, going through Schoolhouse, I believe. So that's second place boy going through. So just over a mile to go to the finish. So we've just got it in that we've got that we mentioned at Spectators Hill that between Maddie and Jemima, that gap was closing. So there's just a 10 seconds between the first two girls in terms of Maddie and Jemima at Danny Bridge. And then Elif is 6 seconds behind Jemima. So as we said, Jan, this race is really, the girls' race is really hotting up. So the top three, there's not much between them at all. So
do you think it's better to be 10 seconds behind so that you've got something to aim at, or do you think it's better to be 10 seconds in front and then just try and keep the lead?
I would prefer to be probably behind the leader at that point, I think. So yeah, absolutely. But you know, everybody's got their different race strategy. So we'll see. So let's have a look here. We're back at Danny. So yeah, we've got some better sort of images coming through from Danny. It's interesting. So I've learned a lot, well, not loads about Starlink technology, but obviously you sometimes get the braking signal, as it's just sort of happening now, where if it's changing satellite and also sort of any trees, or it can also affect the coverage. But yeah, it's just a little bit patchy at Danny. Here we go. So I think that's possibly Bruno that's gone past there. I can't quite see because of the shade, but got some good coverage. This is the OS treasurer again, David Calvert, who's switched from Nigel's house to Fairfield, and a big shout out to
big shout out to our treasurer.
Yeah, always got to keep the treasurer happy. So Walter's now approaching Settlebet Bridge here. So we've got the footage here of Walter coming to Settlebet Bridge.
And of course, we're hoping to invite some of the winners into our studio.
Yes, if they're able to come for a chat. So that's brilliant. Well done, Walter. Looking very strong. So he is pretty much on the home straight now. Just be bending around onto the main road into Sedbet, and then the final slog up the hill, and then he'll see Lupton ahead of him. So, and I think there we go. So it literally will be, I think, a couple of minutes now until we see Walter approaching Lupton Fields and kicking home into the crowd. And as I think we mentioned in the pre-show, you kind of come into Lupton Field and there's that corner as you bend around to the home straight and head down to the finishing line. So there'll be a big roar of people as they approach that finishing line. Lots of noise.
But did you, because in the old days we used to go run around Library Corner. Is that what the route you took?
Yeah, that's the route I took. Yeah, so that's what they've obviously recreated with that kind of the bend on Lupton Field. So talking to the pupils that we interviewed, they were saying that there is a really good atmosphere as they sort of bend around the corner at Lupton Fields. There's so much noise, so much encouragement, and all the houses cheering.
And so when you were running in, presumably there was sort of people sort of signalling ahead, saying that the runner's coming in. Could you actually hear the noise and the cheering?
Yeah, you could hear the noise. But for me, it's kind of as you got closer, you knew your legs and your body can get you over the line. But I think, certainly the first year when I came third and I was suffering from cramp, it almost sort of stressed me out a bit, because it was kind of like you heard the noise and you were thinking, I hope my body gets me around the corner. I thought this could be quite embarrassing. But so we've got some more runners coming past that, and I think that looks like a bag of jelly babies or flapjack there. So that just shows again the hard work that the marshals do. They were out everywhere on the course supporting the pupils. Here we go. I think that's Louis from school coming at Settlebet Bridge. So I believe that's second place. Oh, no, it's Edouard, from school. Correction there. That's second place, Edouard. And so Edouard is in second, and Walter is coming to the finish. Our sources tell us.
So we should hear the cheers in a minute.
We should do. So we should be flicking to the so we can just see that was just a shot there of Danny Bridge car park there. With the girl from Caris coming through. So we'll shortly be switching to the finish. Here we go. And here is Walter coming down the finishing line. You
Very
can see-
strong.
Yeah, very strong indeed. Brilliant finish. Well done, Walter.
Well done, Walter.
We can't quite
Congratulations.
see the clock there, but there's Mr. Harrison. He's got the medal, which is good. So, yeah, brilliant. That's fantastic. Well done, George.
Walter.
Oh, Walter, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Walter. But, yeah, so I was just about to say that we're hoping to have an update, sorry, on George. So congratulations to Walter. But, yeah, we still haven't got an update on terms of George. We believe he possibly might be out of the race at Danny, but we'll let you know as soon as we hear more. Some more runners there coming into, of course, Saddleback Bridge.
Now, do they have to finish in a certain time?
No, I don't think so. I think,
No.
yeah, I mean, if somebody is sort of quite a way behind, I think they'll obviously make the decision. If
Yeah.
you know, obviously a lot depends on daylight as well, but I think most of the runners, that's the whole reason why we have the, obviously the qualifying times, so we know that the school knows that the pupils are, going to get a certain time around the course on the day.
So the leading girls, they're approaching Farfield Mill now, so
Yep.
not far behind.
So we should have some footage there.
Yeah.
So here we go. So we're now live at Fairfield Mill. So we should hopefully pick up the girls' race. So Hartonian coming through.
There we have
go.
the winner. And he's just being brought to come along, and he's going to come and see us in a second, which
Yeah,
is great.
that's great.
So that's Walter.
So hopefully, as we say, we'll get back to Fairfield Mill and catch the lead girl winners. And I believe this should be Eduardo coming through now for Schoolhouse.
Well done, Eduardo.
Danny, are you able to keep the names coming through when they're coming through the finish? Just because I was saying that is Eduardo, wasn't it? Yeah. 'Cause I was oh, Eduardo. Okay. Yeah. 'Cause I was okay. So I think now we're just trying to, as I mentioned, just catch the girls as they come through, and it's very tight. So we'll hopefully get some splits in a second. As we move back there to Danny Bridge again, the winners coming through. Look at that cloud coverage. That's pretty spectacular, isn't it?
It looks like a Ladybird book.
There we go. More runners, more jelly babies or flapjacks needed there.
So jelly babies, you keep referencing them. Are these a secret to a sort of fast runner?
I don't know. It's just something I look for.
Is this why you have a lifelong addiction to them?
Yeah, there's Edward. He's hopefully going to maybe come and have a chat as well in the studio. So we're keeping the lookout for the lead runners from the girls' race. That is a nice feeling, I think, getting to Saddleback Bridge when you know you're back into Sedbergh and there's not far to go.
So where were you? You said you got cramp at Danny.
Yeah.
So you kind of done the hard bit.
Yeah. Just coming off Danny. So yeah, just out of nowhere. Ready? Here we go. So we've got, I said, third place Bruno from pole.
Well done, Bruno.
Coming in. Well done. Medal from Mr. Harrison, and congratulations from the race director Richard Wells. And that's the medical tent there at the end there with the school nurse.
Okay. So we're now joined in the studio
by our race winner.
By Walter. Walter, congratulations. Well done. What an achievement.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for kind of coming to join us. So, how was the conditions out there? Was it pretty warm?
Yeah, it was quite warm. Just really warm.
Yeah, and
sunny.
Yeah, well done. And it was pretty dry. Your legs look pretty muddy, but
yeah, it was just 2 bogs or something. It wasn't too bad.
It was over Borfell.
Yeah. The rest of it was really, really dry.
And
which is quite nice.
Were you happy with your time? Is that what you expected? Or?
I don't know my time yet.
Okay. Right, we need to find that out, don't we? That can be quite crucial, really.
So we're
going to find out. We have the school archivist here who's going to find out for us. So, but well done. And how did that feel? Sort of, you're coming up to the finish line and you hear the cheering. Was that a wonderful feeling?
Yeah, it was really nice. I didn't really expect to come first, but it was really warming to come in and everyone was cheering.
Yes.
I just used my last bit of energy to run as fast as I could.
And of course, in a way, this will partly define you for the rest of your life. So, we had Wilson Run winners. We had a chap who's 92 last night, up on pole vault stage, and he still remembers that as Ben does. It is a tremendous achievement. And of course, at the Wilson Run concert tonight, you'll be going up there, and no one will ever take that away from you, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. That's really good.
I take it there was a big cheer from Hart House.
Yeah,
the whole
massive.
house there, roaring you on.
Yeah, so many of us.
And we were just saying before as well, what's the in terms of around the corner to the finish there? Is it a good atmosphere as you turn for home?
It's really, really good. You come in, and then it just kind of hits you. I was absolutely knackered coming up to the hill, and then it just suddenly got loads of energy when I heard all the cheering.
So we have your time, 1:24 and I think. 34, was it? I think there we go. 1:24:34. Well done.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good. My last one was 1:32, I think.
Well, that's
great.
Very well.
Really good.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, Walter, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it. We better let you get back to celebrate with your family and friends and house.
And just sorry, we've got. Oh no, we was going to say that you got your parents with you or whatever, but they must be very proud.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Yes.
Just
saying yes.
That's
in the studio doesn't want to be
from Mum.
But
yeah,
yes, so,
brilliant.
Yeah. Good.
Well, thank you, Walter,
thank you very much.
Well done.
Well done.
Perfect. Incredible race. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
So that was Walter.
Yeah.
And
brilliant to have Walter join us in the studio.
And his mum, of course, very proud mum.
Yes.
So,
yes. Very proud mum. I'm sure a very proud house, and Hart House will be celebrating tonight.
So we have news on the girls.
Yes. So Maddie is opened up a lead now on second place Jemima. So as we mentioned there before, you were saying about would I rather be in second or first? Clearly Maddie sort of got a race strategy, and she's her race plan is coming off, and we've got third place Elsie.
Oh, so we have a change of third there.
Yeah, I think it was possibly Elif.
Yes, it was before, yes.
In third. So this is it was Maddie just gone through.
Yep.
I think it might be Maddie there at Fairfield Mill.
But you had Walter there saying he didn't expect to win. But this is the thing about the Wilson Run; it is so unpredictable.
Yeah, like we said with George, I think we don't know what sort of happened at Danny, but the track has definitely stopped. So. It is such a long race, it's 10 and a bit miles, and there's the weather conditions, the course to deal with. It's, that's what makes it so exciting, because from one year to the next, you just don't know who that winner's going to be. And we've got Joe, coming in from, and Joe and Harry. So Joe from Pole House in the pink vest there, and Harry with the green vest from Hart House. Well done to you both. Great effort. You can see that's what I'll be doing. I'll be getting some shade in the medical tent there. But pretty hot with those conditions.
Because your father's a vet. I could just imagine you sort of like a thoroughbred.
Well, I had a random fact here. So I had an issue with my ankle my last year. So I actually had they have a thing called vet wrap, which is like a bandage for horses, and I got him to get me some pink vet wrap to match my pink Pole House vest. So I looked very colour coordinated when I ran in 2002. So you probably had to search far and wide to get that particular pink bandage. I don't know whether it was sort of readily available or not, but it made me look the part. So yeah, just to clarify the boys' position. So it was first place Walter, who we just had in the studio a minute ago. Second was Edouard. Third, Bruno. And fourth was George from Harthouse. Fifth, James from Pole. And then sixth was Louis.
From school?
From Schoolhouse, yeah. So we'll keep sort of switching back here from the finish to different locations. So we just had the information that here we go. So Maddie is coming into shot now at Settlebet Bridge. Well done to Maddie.
She's done well, hasn't she?
Yeah, really, really
she was
well.
only 10 seconds ahead at one point.
Yeah, 10 seconds at Danny Bridge, and she's really opened the gap now. So looking strong, moving well. That's brilliant. And yeah, it looks like there's a Hartonian and Schoolhouse runner just behind. So yeah, you can see there. If you look at the gap, she's really opened up a bit of a gap there to second place. We're just getting the runners at Spectators Hill again. So once again, as we said earlier, it's really sort of spread out the field now as you get to this point. With 200 runners, you do get a nice spread across the course. And here we go. I think this might be the second place runner. I think this is Jemima, I think. Jemima Lupton House coming over Settlebet Bridge. And we've got the boys finishing here. Mr. Harrison, headmaster, congratulating them. So yeah, it looks like it's clouding over a little bit, isn't it? There's still quite a lot of blue sky. Maybe not so much sunshine as there was towards the start of the race, but
of course we've practically had a drought in Sedbergh, haven't we? It hasn't rained for weeks,
yeah.
Which is
which doesn't happen often, does it?
Doesn't happen often, no. So the grass isn't quite sure what it's doing.
There'll be lots of also makers thinking, "What? That's not possible."
Yeah. We've actually moved for location for the 500.
Yeah. So we've got some more runners coming in here at Settlebet Bridge. So yeah, we can see the marshal there, just controlling the traffic. So that worked quite nicely, didn't it? So the runners were able to just get straight through. So it looks like they're going to get through here without any traffic issues. This is it again, like we were saying, there's just so much the logistics that go into this race to make everything run smoothly.
Well, of course, the race director has been meticulous planning, isn't it? It's pages
Yes.
and pages of and risk assessments and what have you. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and but year after year, it's sort of gone off without a hitch.
Yes,
which has been brilliant.
Yeah, that's very good. Do we move back to Fairfield Mill now? It's blue skies.
Would you say the excitement about the race has grown over the years?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's sort of a wider kind of acknowledgement of the race as well, isn't it? In terms of with parents, I certainly think that parents definitely get more involved now than they ever did.
Yeah.
Certainly in my time, and I'm sure in your time, as the headmaster was saying, that there's so many parents here, and there's a good group of parents that came to the dinner last night in Pole Hall. So I think everybody's just really getting involved and people realise what a special and unique event it is.
Perhaps just say something about the dinner. It does book up very quickly, and then people are disappointed because they can't come to it. And we had to extend it, didn't we?
Yeah, we haven't actually opened the booking for next year. If you're kind of doing a plug for next year's dinner, we'll have to get the link out soon. If that's what you're saying.
Let's just clear away the plates from this one first, shall we?
I thought you were sort of hinting there for people to book it. I don't think we've even got the date yet, but it will be. Yeah, but no, it was great. To see so many people come. So as we kind of mentioned before, we'll just keep sort of making sure that we kind of cover as many peoples as we can as they come through the different locations.
Maddie's approaching Lupton Field, isn't
she?
So
she is.
She'll be coming to view soon.
Oh yeah, we saw her come through Settlebet Bridge, didn't we, a minute or so ago? So it won't be long at all before she comes into shot, and there'll be a big roar from all the crowd, and especially Robertson House. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, so I think
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Oh, Jemima's got ahead of Maddie.
Yeah, I think Jemima has overtaken Maddie in between Settleback Bridge by the looks of things. And Maddie just in shot there as well has come second. So obviously there must have been, from Settleback Bridge, Jemima has really pushed on and must have closed that gap.
Goodness, that's quite a late sort of surge there. So
you must have sort of I don't think we saw Jemima come. Yeah, we saw Jemima come through Settleback, but it was just quite hard to see what that sort of time difference was without having to split there. So she must have really pushed up the hill to Lupton Fields. It looks like she must have just overtaken her just out of shot there.
Do you think Maddie just literally ran out of energy? Can that happen?
Possibly, yeah. Who knows? Obviously, hopefully we might be able to have a chat with Maddie and Jemima in the studio. But it just shows what sportsmanship there, just between Maddie and Jemima. Brilliant race. And that's just so how it excites.
And did Jemima come second last year?
No, Maddie came second last year.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Maddie, yeah. She came
Yes, that's right, yeah. So we'll just flick back now to Fairfield Mill again. So I think hopefully we'll have some more interviews in the office shortly when we can speak to the pupils. Oh, we're good.
So just got a message coming through. OS John and wife Susan have messaged to say that they have donated to the 500 for 500 campaign to help young people access SEDBA. Thank you to John and Susan, very kind, and it'll go to a very good cause. And if you want to help with the appeal, you see there's a QR code on the screen. Just use your phone to access the link, and that'd be very kind.
That's enormously.
Yeah. And now, a chap I was in Lupton House with, OS Paul Crone, who is a news reporter. He says he's enjoyed the coverage, but says this brought back painful messages. Painful, I'm not sure messages is the right word, but anyway, 1 hour 29 that he ran it in, he said it felt like 5 hours 29. So these memories.
I think it must be painful memories.
It must be painful memories there, yes. So, but good to hear from you, Paul. Great chap.
Oh, there we go. It's a strong finish. Yeah. Two Luptonians there, congratulating one another. So third girl, so I think in shot there was Elif, and fourth girl was Elsie. So I believe that was Elif and Elsie that were just both congratulating one another. The sky's getting blue and blue again, isn't it? Look at that.
The excitement. Is this, forget the race.
Oh, it's the blue skies. Is this Portugal or is this SEDBA? Well done there. So we got Hartonian coming through the finish line. Congratulations. And it looks like, is that Leptonian? There we go. Brilliant. So fifth girl, I think that's Scarlett. So that's Scarlett coming through, I believe. It is indeed, yes. So Scarlett came third last year. Great effort from Scarlett. Brilliant. Well done. You can see the cameraman there. That's our roaming cameraman in shot.
I like we have two roaming cameramen. We have a cameraman take a shot of a cameraman.
No, the camera that we can see now is on that's on a stand.
Oh, I see.
That's a static camera. So. Oh, I believe that the Heart House boy we just seen come through there was Kit, who's the brother of Walter, the winner. And this is Nell, who's just finished 6th, getting her medal from the headmaster, and Nell's from Caris House. Well done to Nell.
So while I've been watching the race, it's just been great that people have been donating to the 500 for 500 appeal, and you know, it is such an important thing. This will change the lives of a boy and a girl. So we're just going to show you in the corner of the screen some footage we shot earlier, and if you can help us, that would be wonderful. And thank you to all those who have already pledged their support.
In our 500th year, I think it's important to reflect on the ethos of Sedbergh School, particularly under the leadership of the current headmaster, Mr. Dan Harrison. The school is an institution that seeks more and more to educate those from all walks of life. And Ben, you know, we came to Sedbergh. We count ourselves most fortunate, don't we?
Yeah, immensely fortunate. I mean, look at us. We're sat here, beautiful day with wonderful surroundings of the Howgill Hills, and it's just a fantastic place to come to school.
Yeah. And of course, not everyone is so lucky. But under Dan's leadership, the school now offers 12 fully funded places for those who are talented individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds. But we want to do more. And this year, we have launched the 500 for 500 appeal. And what we're asking is for people to donate £8.33 a month for 5 years, equating to £500. And through this, together, we'll be able to fund a place for one boy and one girl so they can come here and have life-changing opportunity while improving social mobility. And Ben, a number of people have already signed up.
They have, yeah. We had a big dinner last Thursday night in London, and yeah, people are already coming forward to support the appeal, which is fantastic because the OS community are incredibly generous, and you know, they are changing lives for people.
So please, if you can help, the link is below. Please sign up. Please help us. Please change 2 lives for the good. Thank you.
So we are joined here in the studio by Jemima, the girls' winner. Jemima, congratulations. You must be very proud.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was crazy, but it's done now.
An incredible race. So where did you take the lead? Was that on Lupton Field?
Just as we came onto Lupton Field, but I actually had nothing left. But I just thought if I overtake her, she might think I do. But really, if she was going to keep going with me, I had nothing. So thankfully, I was able to just lie to myself and push.
Absolutely incredible, because we got obviously the footage at Settleback Bridge, and we could sort of see Maddie go through, and then
I had no idea where she was. I couldn't even see her.
Well, it's hard because we don't have the time splits, but it looked like there was a little bit of a gap, so you must have really closed.
Yeah, I was bothered about keeping in front of Elsie rather than actually getting to her. So when I saw her, I was like, oh, it could actually be possible, but my legs didn't think it would be.
So you did time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 18 seconds. Is that what you expected? Or?
I had no idea about the time. I didn't even know I wanted to run. I've never done the course, and I've never really raced that distance, so I had no idea what a good time was. I kind of ignored the time on my watch, and I was just looking at the distance, and that actually worked to my favour because I had no idea how far was left on the road, because obviously with the qualifiers, we don't do that exact course.
Yeah.
So if I'd have known how far was actually left, I'm not sure I would have been quite as hopeful, but thankfully I had no idea.
And we've got your mum in the studio.
Yes.
And is she very proud of you?
I think so, yeah. I think she's more shocked at the moment.
I think she's got a grin like a Cheshire cat. I think she's pretty proud.
Yeah.
But no, just seriously, as a an Ulster biggie myself and run the race, just incredible effort there, just to close that gap. And your strategy was clearly just go for it.
Yeah, it was. Mr. Wells had said to run by feel, so I kind of had that in mind. If I can go faster, go faster. If you're struggling, take a second and breathe. But that struggling seemed to be a large portion of it. But I wrote down some stuff that I took with me on a piece of paper. And so I just kept reading those when I thought I would have to stop on Borfell. It's definitely just reading my notes over and over again, and that kept me going.
Yeah. And we saw when you finished, it was very gracious of Maddie
yes.
to come and give you a big hug. Really.
Yeah, because she really pushed me on. So without her being so strong, I would have not been able to do that. But
and you were 1 minute 40 seconds behind at Danny, so you've caught her up and overtook.
Yeah, I don't really know how. I think I was just because I was so bothered about keeping in front of the person behind me. I actually wasn't focused on Maddie, and I think that helped me to stay calm. And then, as I said, I think not knowing actually how far was left worked in my favour.
Yeah.
It was a bit in ignorance.
And you just going on that field, just how your body was feeling.
Yeah, and I was just taking by and putting one foot in front of the other and hoping that the finish line would come. But everyone says that Lupton Pitch is longer than you think at the end, but it really is longer than you think when you get there. And I actually didn't think it would end, but thankfully I saw the finish line and I could stop.
And we were just saying to Walter before, like he was describing the atmosphere, obviously,
yes.
as he kind of came into Lupton Field.
Yeah, I mean, I was in my head, I was like, just take it in, take it in, take it in. And every time I've watched it, I've thought, when you run it, you take in that moment, but I actually just couldn't hear anything. I was just kind of focused on just get to the finish line. And I tried to look around and see everything, but you really are just in the zone. But I tried to take it in as much as I can, and I'm looking forward to going back out there and cheering everyone on and seeing all my friends.
And we were saying to Walter as well, but this aspect of life will partly define you because last night we had a chap who's 92, Captain Bill Canning, who won the Wilson Run I think in 1948, and he still comes back and he was up on stage with all the other sort of medal winners to sing the Wilson Run, and he still sings it with great pride.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very special race. I remember watching the Olympics in the summer, and I thought the Wilson Run is kind of the school's version of Olympics. So I think in the bubble of Sedbergh, it is the everything, and I don't think any other school can have 10 miles that mean so much, and every mile matters, and it's just such a long race, so you go through so many different emotions, but ultimately it is enjoyable, and the challenge has to be enjoyed.
Absolutely, but yeah, well, really well done. I know you've got some celebrating to do, and you want to go and watch the other runners come in. So yeah, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
We'll
thank you for having me.
We'll look forward to seeing you at the concert this evening.
Thank you very
on
much.
Stage.
Lovely to talk to you.
Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Thank
Cheers,
you very
Jemima.
much.
Thank you very much.
Bye now. Bye.
So, Jan, I believe we've got the OS chairman, Duncan
We
Berry.
have the OS chairman, yes.
Who will be coming to join us to talk
who,
about...
I think came third in his time.
He did?
Yes. So,
and
we also have the news about George, don't we?
Yeah.
That he's
so we've just been informed that George is at the medical centre receiving treatment. And his condition is improving, so obviously
must
we
have
don't
been
quite
exhaustion or something, really.
Yeah, possibly, but we'll know once.
So if you hang on, we just got the chairman. If you can walk around the camera, we just sort of go straight through there and then round, and then and come and join us on the settee here. So you've been out on the course. You ran this morning, I understand.
I did, gents. I did. By the way, firstly, congratulations, Jemima. What a fantastic run. I was just great seeing that note about the fact she came back an hour and 40. Minute and 40 from
Danny.
From Danny. Yeah, what a day, what a race. So yeah, enjoyed getting out this morning. Left with a few other lads at about 8:45. Thought the conditions were very good. Fortunately, cooler than it was this afternoon. And yeah, I didn't quite get my PB, but still made it. It was good.
Were you aiming for your PB, Duncan?
Well,
was this the day?
I think it's one of the things. Yes.
No one ever does.
I was simply aiming to get round, and I achieved that, and still need to be in. Still in one piece. So that was good.
So I see there that you, of course, your dad really was the Wilson Run, Norman Berry, really, and wrote a couple of books, one of which you have in your hand there.
Yes, no, that's very kind of you to say so. Certainly the Wilson Run, which he won in 1962, is something which really, I think I heard you say to Jemima earlier, it defines your life, as it were, and certainly he found that it was a huge part in his life. And yeah, being able to write, he wrote the book, The Wilson Run, for the centenary back in 1981, and then a second version up to 2019.
Which is a very good read, actually, isn't it? Because it does.
You can dip in and out of it.
Yeah.
You can just pick up years and just look to see. I mean, despite his current condition with dementia, he'll still let you know who came first, second, third back in 1942. He knows it that well. But it obviously meant a huge amount to him, and these are the memories that he still has, are his Sedbergh days, and lovely at 81 that in his own mind he still thinks he's able to get back and come round and do it, which is fabulous.
But of course he was running till quite a late age, wasn't
he? He was, yes. I mean, he was with his running club really up until probably about 3 years ago, and they were fantastic with him. He would go out and enjoy shorter runs, but would always be asking when he can get back to Sedbergh, come round the Wilson and go and do it.
But
so
I mean, these books
fantastic.
that he's written, that is such a great legacy, because it's such a great compendium, not only of the times and everything else, but all the stories and all the history of this run.
And there are so many. And I think, the wonderful thing about the Wilson, and we're seeing it, is the uniqueness of the race. Everyone today, will have their own story and experience of it. We look back to 1881 and the stories back to then of how people have found it themselves, what has happened, good and bad, for people. A lot of stories with this fantastic race, which just maintains its uniqueness. I mean, it has been quite a day. It was great to see the message earlier on that George is receiving treatment. We were up at Danny seeing him, and you never want to see a runner struggle, but having seen him try and get coming up the hill and his legs just go, it was hard to see, really hard to see. And given how much we know that, and again from a schoolhouse point of view, that he wanted it. So but that is the nature of our run. It's something which it isn't the first time it's happened, and that's the wonderful thing about running in March. It can be 16 degrees one day, it could be sort of minus two another, and there can be snow and everything else. And I think really, that is something which we have to contend with, I guess, as existing pupils, and as OSs, we can always tell the story of just how bad the weather was when we were doing it, irrespective of whether it was or not. But we wish George all the best in terms of his recovery, and obviously it was a tough one for him today, and hope all's good for him. But there's a lot of stories in the book which recount very similar things that have happened, and as you say, it's a great one just to be able to dip out. Mark's, those guys who've gone round today, I think you heard talking to Jemima, she's going to remember that for an awful long time.
Yes.
And to be able then to have perhaps, to have a book that reminds her of what's gone before, and to be able to say that I did this, whether you've come in first or 101st or 201st, you have done it. And that is a fantastic achievement.
And Duncan, you're chairman of the OS Club, and it's great to see so many Ulster Bergians here over the last 2 days, isn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. Wasn't last night fantastic? Pole Hall event was really good. Just mingling out there with an awful lot of them today has been fantastic to see them come back. And everyone seems to get something from it. You're bumping into people that you perhaps haven't seen for some time, and wonderful to see people come back and celebrate this great run. And ideally we're also in a situation where we'll see people come back in May as well for that event in May.
So Duncan, sorry to jump in here, but we've been talking about the book, but can our viewers buy this book, Duncan?
Indeed they can. So it's thank you for reminding me about that. They can indeed. It's currently available up at Queen's Hall. It's £25, and we can be taking payments today and shipping them out to you. So it is available.
And through the OS website too.
And through the OS website. And I'm sure if they were able to get in contact, if anybody wanted it, then we can certainly get that off to them. But yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Anybody
who's
interested, anybody who's interested, just email the osclub@sebaschool.org, and then we can obviously sort of send you a copy and sort out payment.
So we're just getting a message through from Olivia Haynes, I think the Reverend Olivia Haynes, I think.
Indeed, yeah.
And it says, well done to all runners. The course is dry, but it's hot out there today, but well done everyone. And you'd agree with that, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd like to think I lost a good few pounds during my 17.5k going round today. I haven't put myself on the scales, but I'd like to think that.
Hasn't done you any harm.
No, it hasn't done me any harm, no. But what was also fantastic today, being out there, was just seeing the number of people walking and running it and just going round. Absolutely brilliant.
It was incredible.
Really, really was. Fabulous to see.
Can I just say that last year Olivia was here and she was actually outside the office, outside the studio, and I think she saw our despair when we had our issues with the cameras, and she sort of felt very sorry for us. I looked very stressed.
I think she prayed for us this year. It's helped.
So it was good.
Yeah, so we just got another message coming through from Clive Russells. He says, I ran the route 30 years old when I was in the army and managed 1:59.59. A bit slower than 1977. He's donated to the 500 for 500 appeal. Bless you, Clive. Thank you for that. It's a really good cause. Thank you.
Thank you, Clive.
What are your plans then now? Are you
other than recovering?
Yes.
I'd like to think so, carb loading, but I think we'll be back outside and having a chance to sort of see the runners, the remainder of the runners coming in. Wonderful to see the support that they get, coming down that finishing line.
That's
absolutely brilliant.
We don't get to hear the noises.
Well, let me tell you, the cheers that go up, certainly for them all, actually, is absolutely wonderful. And I can only imagine that feeling. And I think as Jemima was telling, wasn't she, about I want to take it all in, but I just want to focus on the finishing line and get over it. Lovely to hear. But yeah, the support there is brilliant. And look at those blue skies. What an advert for
it looks like it's Portugal.
Yeah,
it doesn't actually look like it's Edinburgh, does it?
Yeah.
But, it's amazing what Photoshop does these days, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a message coming from John Pilkington. He says, amazing to watch the live stream. Brought back amazing memories of my race in 1919. 1 hour, 21 minutes. Very respectable. Well done to all runners, and enjoy the concert tonight. And indeed, the concert tonight is one of the highlights.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, to see the runners going up in... I think they do it in reverse order now, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Rather than an order. But yes, having been to a few of those recently, it is quite an experience to be there. And I'm absolutely sure for every runner, irrespective of where they finish, they will remember that moment on stage. Being able to be singing the long run will be something they remember, which is it's fantastic. Really is. It was wonderful just mentioning the OSs there about how many of them are all sort of checking the times that they got round when they did it and thinking, I could have done quite well in this race. Forgetting that small thing of weather and conditions and those sort of things. But lovely to see that everyone has a story.
We've got a wonderful message from Peter Akins, who's a super chap out in the States, a great friend of the school. And he says, well done to Walter. Great to see a green vest across the line in first. From a very proud former Hart House tutor. Thank you, Peter, and I hope you're keeping well out in the USA.
I'm sure Peter's actually probably wearing his Hart House.
He's probably running around the campus at Rosebery Hall at the moment. Yeah.
He's incredible, as he said, incredible chap and very devoted member of the Sebba community. We had the privilege of going to Peter's house, and he has Duncan a kind of basically his office is full of OS memorabilia. It's kind of like, you know.
He's actually a very good.
Has he got more than Jans?
Yes, more than
Jans.
Well,
really?
The thing is, what he does,
even got the,
he searches the world for memorabilia, and then he sort of emails the school archivist, Katie de la Riviere, and says, "Do you want this?" You know, so there's a constant flow of swords and everything else. So
it's fantastic.
Bless
It
you,
really
Peter,
is.
for your help.
It's really
yes, we wouldn't have an archive without Peter, really, would we?
It's brilliant. But no, on a serious note, really thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
It's great support to the school.
Good. Well, Duncan, thank you ever so much.
Not at all.
Great to see you
No,
today.
good to be able to pop in and thank you for the opportunity to mention the book. And you've done a sterling effort, you guys, in terms of being able to see this this through.
We've had cameras, which has been great. We've had footage, which also helps.
This time, which helped. We did see, actually, when we were early on, I think we were watching at 10 Mile Lane, just off 10 Mile Lane, and this low-flying jet.
Oh, really?
Through. Yeah. We all held our breath for your cameras, thinking this could just be another something that goes.
We were all good, thank God. Yeah, so it was all good.
And then please give our best wishes to your father.
I will do. Thank you very much indeed.
His work he's done for the school over the years has just been outstanding.
Will do. No, thank you. Will do.
So brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us.
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, and enjoy the CAU. Will you be going to Schoolhouse tonight?
I'll be heading to Schoolhouse for tea and congratulating those guys. And sadly unable to make the concert tonight, but yeah, be great to see the guys. And I must admit, I'm biased, but to see a Jemima from Lupton House come in,
two Jemimas
again,
from us, yes.
is lovely to see.
So those people who don't know, for the viewers, Duncan's daughter Jemima won the race a few years ago for Lupton. So it really is, running is in the genes, isn't it? And so then Hugo's looking strong for potentially sixth form.
He enjoys his running. Yeah, he enjoys his running.
Doing very well.
And we'll see. But yeah, no, lovely from and to see another Lupton House and another Jemima being able to take the win today. So that was fantastic. Yeah, that was good.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Duncan.
No worries.
Cheers. So just Ben, we've had a great success with streaming from the Fells this year. We've actually
I can sleep tonight.
Yeah. But it has been a fantastic day, hasn't it? And fantastic 2 days.
It has, yeah.
And it's been wonderful to hear from so many people across the world as well. So we've had many messages of support, and thank you for those who've contributed to the 500 for 500 appeal. I wonder if we were able to put up that QR code one more time, just to there we go. So if you can support us, this is to raise funds for one boy and one girl to come here to the school. On a fully funded scholarship, change their lives. And I say we had a scholar last night, Amelia Horan, who said that it changed her life coming here as a Roger Lupton scholar, and she was the first woman from her family to ever go to university, and has put on a completely different trajectory in life. So thank you for all those who have helped. So Ben, I believe we got confirmation of the first 6.
We have indeed, yeah. So we sort of mentioned it as the runners came through, but just to give an update again of the top 6 finishes, it was Jemima, who we interviewed a few moments ago, in first. Second was Maddie. Third was Elif from Robertson. Fourth was Elsie from Lupton. Fifth was Scarlett from Lupton, and 6th was Nell from Carris. So three Luptonians in the top 6 there.
My old house, of course. Yeah. So I'm very proud. Ben, I think we'll be drawing to a close now. We'll probably be leaving the
camera
rolling. But thank you to everyone across the world who's been watching today for all your support. And next year, try and make it here. It's just such a brilliant couple of days.
Absolutely, and just thank you to everybody who's messaged in as well. And we've had lots of messages that have come in that we haven't had a chance to read out as well. So we will read those, look through obviously our messages later. But we really do appreciate the support, and thank you again for everybody who's donated to the 500 for 500. It really does make a huge difference to people's lives. So thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.